Is that?
Yeah, maybe D is Neha D. Yeah, Neha D. Neha D will be father name is yeah, but it will be but no, should also we can tell. ആ അറ്റൻഡൻസ് ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട് ആ EBSB it is coming off. Hello, hello. No, it is coming from there. Hello, 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 hello. ഇതെന്താ വോയിസ് തരില്ല. Hello, 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 hello. Now it's coming. Hello, 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 hello. No. Hello, hello. Yeah, yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Hello. Hello.
नहीं वो उधर आएगा इधर का तो इधर इमेज आएगा
Jai Hind, sir. Good morning.
Jai Hind, sir.
Sir.
hello good morning all of you
Good morning, sir.
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 Jai Hind, sir. Good morning, sir.
time is already 10
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
And
Morning, ma'am.
good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Jai Hind, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Jai ma'am. Jayant.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning.
Jai Hind, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Jayant. Jayant, sir. Palsa? Como yo.
Good morning, sir. Jain, sir.
Jai Chap.
Good morning, sir.
ইংলিশে ছাড়া কোনো ব্যাং বুঝি না খালি অন করি আনবো পড়া লাগে পড়া ইংলিশ ছাড়া কিচ্ছু না মূল সময় পড়ি
अभी तो आ रहा था यार, वहीं पे छोड़ देता यार, बस ये पीपल का ये हटाना, जरा इसको क्रॉस करो, ये जो आ रहा, ये राइट वाला, हाँ ऊपर, हाँ I can't see the right side. Good morning, cadets. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Good morning, sir.
Am I audible? You can give the message.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
You're audible.
So I can see the familiar faces because I was posted in NER. I was a CO in Jorat NCC group. So I can see the familiar faces. So at the outset, I welcome you all to that online EBSB, which will be conducted by us, that is NCC Group Headquarters, Pondicherry, on behalf of Directorate, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry and Andaman Nicobar. So firstly, you must be basically surprised to see in my this dress, so because now second issue is today is Kargil Vijay Divas. So firstly, congratulations to each one of you. So you know that everybody at Armed Forces has done great sacrifice to achieve that victory for Pakistani's intruders. So that's why I'd gone to lay the wreath on behalf of army personals at that Pondicherry beach. That is a Kargil memorial. So basically, now I'll just take a few seconds to give the how come this EBSB has come into picture. Initially, it is not EBSB was not there. Earlier NCC, there was a camp which was called NIC, that is National Integration Camp, which were used to be conducted. It is only the name has been changed. This concept of the EBSB was basically given by our Honorable Prime Minister on the birth anniversary of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. On, I think it is in December, October, 31st October 2015. So only name has changed. Otherwise, everything, syllabus, everything is same. Now it has gone because of COVID reasons. Now we have come to this online EBSB. So I understand digital technology cannot overtake that physical camp which was used to be there. So purposely, everyone, even each one of you wants a physical kind of camp, which basically used to be there for 12 days. Now we are basically that taking only 5 days to complete it. So that I mean basically, I can't, we cannot basically replace that physical training, even in NCC, even colleges, with the digital online platforms. So now with this, so we this will start as it is. It commenced today and it will finish on 31st of July, over the period of 5 days. So now it will cover now theme. Now basically the theme is of this EBSB is Kargil Divas. So we'll be presenting some presentation and some kind of discussion on leadership qualities. Basically that war heroes. We'll be covering subsequently on one of the days. Whereas the rest of remains the same. Now why? Basically, there's an integration. Everybody has got a different, like I was in Assam, there's 7 states in Northeast region. Everybody has a different kind of culture, language, cuisine, food habits. Everybody is different. So this country is a lot of diversity is there. Still, we are integrated. We are basically a one team. So to get to know each other, that's why this NCC has done. So we have paired two directorates. So like for example, for today, we are the host directorate and NER is a guest directorate. So it is basically, you can say, exchange of basically each other's, you can say, culture, heritage, festivals, custom and traditions, and so on. It includes the history, geography, and basically local language. So we will able to give only insight into it a little bit. As it is, the time is very less. So we'll hardly get a adequate time to cover these topics. So now with this, I will just close my closing address, and with I'll just say at the end of this my opening address. So you should take the positive about this thing. So why it is required? Basically, now it will help the NCC cadets also. So once you go to various COC like RDC, PSC, you will meet so many people. So you will not be afraid about how that cadet is from Tamil Nadu. So it is basically exchange of ideas, and that is it. So at the end of and we have also the schedule has been already been given out. So there will be two competitions. One is quiz competitions, which will be online. It will be applicable for everyone. Next is declamation, which will be basically 5 participants per directors. So we will be awarding that cash prize, and including that participation, that e-certificate will be given to you through your emails. Jai Hind.
A very warm good morning to everyone present here. We are the cadets of the Unit 1T NCTC NCC of Madras B Group of Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, Andaman and Nicobar Directorate.
We all know history is the study of past. It is the important subject which clearly gives us an understanding of the world which we live in. Coming to the history of Tamil Nadu, it is classified as the prehistoric period, Sangam age, interregnum, age of empires, Vijayanagar and the Nayak period, and British rule and their colonization. Prehistoric period. The people in this period used various types of stones. Based on the stones they used, the period was classified as the Paleolithic age, Mesolithic, Neolithic and Megalithic. Sangam age. This is the age from 200 BCE to 300 CE. This period is the period in which the third Tamil Sangam took place. The 3 kingdoms, namely Cheras, Cholas and Pandyas, ruled the state. The land was divided into 5 categories as Kurunji, Mullai, Marudam, Neidal and Palai. Coming to Interregnum, it is the age from 300 to 700 CE. There is almost a total lack of information regarding the occurrences in Tamil Nadu during this age. The literatures mention that the Kalabaras ruled the state, and their information is scattered in the Buddhist and Jain literature, and the Kalabaras are mentioned as the evil rulers. The age of empires, it is from 600 CE to 1300 CE, which was ruled by the 3 kingdoms Pallavas, Pandyas and Cholas. There were so many great rulers in this age who made the history of Tamil Nadu a great one, and the society and its culture saw massive developments in the reign. There were so many rulers like Rajaraja Cholan, Rajendra Cholan, Mandyan Nedunjali and Mahendra Varman who ruled the state and made the history of Tamil Nadu a more important one. For example, the Tanjavur Bragdishwara temple is a historical epic which was built by Rajaraja Cholan, and there are so many temples which are built during that reign. Next came the Vijayanagar and the Nayak period. The Vijayanagar Empire was an Indian empire founded by Harihara and his brother Bukkaraya, which extended into the Tamil country in 1356. The Nayak rule, established by the Vijayanagar emperors, especially by the King Krishnadeva who popularized the Nayak system. After the fall of the Nayaks came the British and their colonization. In the 16th century, the Europeans started to establish trade centers in Tamil Nadu. After the defeat of French, the British became more stronger, and this led to the series of wars known as the Polygar Wars with the Palayakashas. After winning the Polygar Wars, the East India Company consolidated most of the southern India into the Madras Presidency, and then started the struggle for freedom, and there were so many leaders who served for the independence of our nation. After independence, when India became independent in 1947, the Madras Presidency became the Madras State, and in 1969, the Madras State was renamed as Tamil Nadu.
Geography. Geography gives a clear view about a particular area and the interrelationship between the people and the area. Geographical area. Tamil Nadu stands as the 10th largest state by area and 6th by population, with extensive archaeological, political and cultural history as well as dynamic landscape of mountains, plains, forests and coastlines. Tamil Nadu boasts 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It covers an area of about 1,30,058 square kilometers. It is bordered by Kerala to the west, Karnataka to the northwest, Andhra Pradesh to the north, the Bay of Bengal to the east and the Indian Ocean to the south. It has 38 districts. It is divided between the eastern coast and the hilly regions in the north and the west. The high peaks of Western Ghats run along the state's western border. The lower peaks of Eastern Ghats and their outliers run along the center of the region. Resources. Tamil Nadu's major rivers are the Kaveri, Ponnayar, Palar, Vaigai and the Tamarabarni, which flow eastward from the inland hills. Apart from the rich alluvial soil of the river deltas, the predominant soils of the state are clays, loams, sands, red laterites, etc. The Ghats are primarily made of basalt, though charnockite, metamorphic and granite gneisses, iron ore, leptinite and gondolite have also been found. The Deccan Plateau itself is primarily made up of basalt as well as granite and mineral ores that vary depending on the region. In further detail, Tamil Nadu consists of many formations of many types of rocks from many eras. Climate and rainfall. The climate of Tamil Nadu is essentially tropical. May and June are the hottest months, while December and January are the coolest months. The average annual precipitation, falling mainly between October and December, depends on the southwest and northeast monsoons and ranges between 25 and 75 inches a year. The mountainous and hilly areas, especially in the western part of the state, receive the most precipitation, while the lower lying southern and southeastern regions receive the least rainfall. Diversity and coastline. Forest covers roughly 15% of the state. Tamil Nadu has several national parks and more than a dozen wildlife sanctuaries and bird sanctuaries. The state inhabits 2,000 animal species, 600 bird species, 17,700 species of flowering plants, including 533 endemic species. Apart from that, there are many types of forests in this state, namely Southwestern Ghats, mountain rainforest, South Deccan Plateau, dry deciduous forest, Deccan thorn scrub forest, East Deccan dry evergreen forest. Coastline. The state has a coastline of about 1076 km, which is the country's third longest coastline.
Economy of Tamil Nadu. The Tamil Nadu is the second largest state in India by GDP. It is the most industrialized state in India. The capital of Tamil Nadu, Chennai, is the largest industrial and commercial center of the southern India. Economy of Tamil Nadu is contributed by various sectors. They are agriculture, resources and power, manufacturing, transportation, textiles and apparels, leather and fireworks. Coming to the agricultural part under the economy of Tamil Nadu is the fourth leading producer of rice. In Tamil Nadu, the major occupation is found to be the agriculture, and around 70% of the state's population is involved in the agricultural activities. Coming to the resources and power, Tamil Nadu is an industrialized and urbanized state among the top 3 states with respect to the generation of electricity. Under the manufacturing sector of the state accounts for more than 1/3 of the state's gross product. The railway coach factory at Perambur is one of the largest in Asia. The transportation sector is a strong factor in terms of economic and regional balanced development, as well as also having a great influence on national integration to the world economic market. Under this, the 2 major India seaports are located in Tamil Nadu, respectively at Chennai and Tuticorin. The international airport at Meenambakkam, Chennai is one of the largest airports in India. Coming to the textile industries in Tamil Nadu is the largest textile hub in India. About half of the India's spinning mill capacity is in Tamil Nadu. Kanchipuram in Tamil Nadu is famous for the handloom sarees. Coming under the leather, the state accounts for 60% of leather tanning capacity in India and 38% of all leather components. The Vellore district is the top exporter of the finished leather goods in the country. Central Leather Research Institute CLRI is located at Chennai. Under the firework, Sivagasi contributes 80% of India's firework production. It provides over 60% of India's total offset printing solutions. This shows how the economy of Tamil Nadu contributes towards our nation.
A good practice is not only a practice that is good, but a practice that has been proven to work well and produce good results. Let's see the good practices of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu has secured the first position with a prime position in judicial and public security and public infrastructure and utilities. The state also finds place among the top 5 in public health, environment, human resource development and economic governance. Tamil Nadu is one of the first states to abolish plastics and also achieved significant increase in forest cover. The state is also a pioneer in organ transplantation and has recorded very low infant mortality and maternal mortality rates, which are the 2 key health indicators. Let's see the good practices in some specific sector. Healthcare sector. Tamil Nadu is the only state with a distinctive public health cadre in district level. It was also the first state to enact a Public Health Act in 1939. The progress of Tamil Nadu in the field of immunization deserves special mention. The Universal Immunization Program of 1986 was implemented efficiently by the competent health system of Tamil Nadu in full force. The state ranked first in the country in terms of number of children immunized. Another major reform in the healthcare sector of Tamil Nadu was the formation of Tamil Nadu Medical Services Corporation in 1995, an autonomous body regulating the drug procurement and distribution alongside promoting the rational use of generic drug at an affordable cost. Then educational sector. The e-learning platform is a customized content repository for students to access and utilize digital resources to improve their learning outcomes. All textbooks are energized with QR codes which provide enriching learning content on TN Diksha, enabling students to enjoy and enhance their learning. Tamil Nadu Teachers Platform empowers teachers with training and support material to deliver high quality engaging content in their classrooms. Kalvi Tolaikkatchi is an exclusive educational channel which streams programs related to state curriculum for students and teachers to access seamlessly. Online NEET crash course is also provided to students from government and government aided schools. The nutritious meal program was introduced by the then Chief Minister Puratchi Thalaivar Dr. MGR on 1st July 1982. Then let's see about the agricultural sector. Tamil Nadu Agricultural Department has taken up various programs to set up the agricultural production as well as to improve the economic status of the cultivation sector. The details have been listed here. Intensive integrated farming system, massive wasteland development program, extensive watershed development activities, water management through micro irrigation systems, organic farming, soil health improvement through biofertilizer, including green manuring, adoption of the two technologies which is integrated nutrient management and integrated pest management technologies.
SWOT analysis. The SWOT analysis of Tamil Nadu explains the strength, weakness, opportunities and the various threats found in Tamil Nadu. Strengths. As a home to the highest number of factories in India, Tamil Nadu has the highest renewable energy capacity of about 11.394 gigawatts. This is a major strength found in Tamil Nadu. Other than that, Tamil Nadu contributes nearly 7% to India's food processing output. Weakness. When we discuss about the weakness of Tamil Nadu, the inefficient use of capital to generate profit is a major weakness found in Tamil Nadu. This adds to a decline of a cash flow from operations for about last 2 years. The non-farm job growth has been slow in recent years and is not keeping up with the expansion of the working age population. Opportunities. The development of entrepreneurs under various sectors such as textile, leather and paper industry is a major opportunity found in Tamil Nadu, and this leads to solution for unemployment. The availability of resources and infrastructures for building many institutions and companies is also a major opportunity found in Tamil Nadu to increase the economy of Tamil Nadu. Threats. When discussing about the threats of Tamil Nadu, as Tamil Nadu is a home to 1.32 crore alcoholics and that daily drinkers spend nearly about 6,552 rupees every month on liquor. This is a major threat found in Tamil Nadu which affects the economy of Tamil Nadu to a major decline point. The natural calamities or disasters like flood, cyclone, tsunami, etc. also cause a huge loss. Jai Hind.
Jain sir. Yeah, sir. I think now my presentation is there by 10:45 for the Northeast. Now I think around 10:45. I think I got this one later in the 10:45. I'm having the presentations about the Arunachal Pradesh. Sir is of Assam or Arunachal Pradesh, sir?
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
Okay.
Sir, I was informed that our ANO would be presenting the topic of Assam, but since I think he's not here in the meeting, I also prepared a backup presentation from myself. Can I present it? Okay, sir. Is my screen audible?
Yes.
Is my screen audible now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So, history, geography, economy, good practices, and SWOT analysis of Assam. So here are the contents: introduction, history of Assam, geography of Assam, economy of Assam, good practices, and SWOT analysis. Introduction: Assam is a state in northeastern India, south of the eastern Himalayas, along the Brahmaputra and Barak River valleys. The state is bordered by Bhutan and Arunachal Pradesh to the north, Nagaland and Manipur to the east, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, and Bangladesh to the south, and West Bengal to the west. Assamese is the official and most commonly spoken language of the state, followed by Bengali, which is official in the Barak Valley, and Boro, which is official in Boreland Territorial region. Assam is known for Assam tea and Assam silk. The state was first site for oil drilling in Asia. Assam is home to one-horned Indian rhinoceros, along with the wild water buffalo, pygmy hawk, tiger, and various species of Asiatic birds, and provides one of the last wild habitats for the Asian elephant. The Assamese economy is aided by wildlife tourism to Kaziranga National Park and Manas National Park, which are World Heritage Sites. Now, coming to the history of Assam. Proto-historic Assam. Proto-historic Assam is reconstructed from epics and literature from early times, like the Mahabharata, Kalika Purana, Yogini Tantra, different chronicles, etc. The earliest political entity seems to have been led by a non-Aryan Danava dynasty, with Mahiranga mentioned as the first king. This dynasty was removed by Narakasura. This term Naraka appears to be a generic name for many kings belonging to the Naraka dynasty. According to the legend, the last of the Naraka kings was killed by Krishna, and his son Bhagadatta took the throne. Below you can see a picture of the Bhoma dynasty, which is also the Naraka dynasty, and which was the progenitor dynasty of Pragjyotisha. Narakasura, who is said to have established this dynasty, and his descendants Bhagadatta and Vajradatta are first mentioned in the epics like the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. And coming to ancient Assam, the period from 350 to 1206. The historical account of Assam begins with the establishment of Pushyavarman's Varman dynasty in the 4th century in the Kamrupa kingdom, which marks the beginning of ancient Assam. The kingdom reached its traditional extent from the Karatoya in the west to Sadia in the east. The kingdom reached its zenith under Bhaskar Varman in the 7th century. Bhaskar Varman died without leaving behind an issue, and the control of the country passed to Salastambha, who established the Mlekka dynasty. Again, after the fall of the Mlekka dynasty, a new ruler, Brahmapala, was elected, who established the Pala dynasty. So after the last Pala king was removed by the Gaur king Ramapala in 1110, the two subsequent kings, they ruled mostly as independents and grant issues under the old Kamrupa seals. The fall of the subsequent kings and the rise of the individual kingdoms in the 12th century in place of the Kamrupa kingdom marked the end of the Kamrupa kingdom and the period of ancient Assam. Coming to medieval Assam, 1206 to 1826. In the middle of the 13th century, Sandhya, a king of Kamrup Nagara, moved his capital to Kamatapur and thus established the Kamata kingdom. Soon after, in the beginning of the 16th century, Vishwasingha of the Koch tribe established the Koch dynasty in the Kamata kingdom. The Koch dynasty reached its peak under his sons Naranarayan and Silarai. So in the eastern part of the Kamrupa kingdom, the Kachari and the Chutia kingdoms arose. The founder of the Chutia kingdom Birpal formed his first capital in Swarnagiri, now which is present near Subansiri River in 1187, and later his son Ratnadhwajpal shifted his capital to Ratnapur, present Majuli, absorbing the ancient Pala dynasty in 1225 and finally to Sadia in 1248. In this trek between the Kachari and the Chutia kingdoms, a
Sir, can't able to audible, sir.
Okay, since when? Yes, sir. Since when I was inaudible?
Since the last slide.
Since the last slide, no. Okay. This one.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Bhaswan, carry on.
Yes. In the shall I start from the beginning of this slide or I left in the middle?
Yes, start from the beginning of this slide.
The medieval Assam is the period from 1206 to 1826. In the middle of the 13th century, Sandhya, a king of Kamrup Nagara, moved his capital to Kamatapur and thus established the Kamata kingdom. So soon in the beginning of the 16th century, Vishwasingha established the Koch dynasty in the Kamata kingdom. The Koch dynasty reached its peak under his sons Naranarayan and Chilarai. In the eastern part of the Kamrupa kingdom, the Kachari and the Chutia kingdoms arose. The founder of the Chutia kingdom, Birpal, formed his first capital in Swarnagiri, and later his son Ratnadhwajpal shifted the capital to Ratnapur, absorbing the ancient Pala dynasty in 1225 and finally extended to Sadia in 1248. In this trek between the Kachari and the Chutia kingdoms, a Shan group led by Sukafa established the Ahom kingdom. The 16th century is crucial in the history of the medieval period because of the consolidation of the Ahoms, who partially annexed the Chutia kingdom and pushed the Kachari kingdom away from central Assam in the east, the Koch in the west, and the growth of Ekasarna Dharma of Srimanta Sankardev. So after the death of Naranayan of the Koch dynasty, the Kamata kingdom broke into Koch Bihar in the west and Koch Hazo in the east. This rivalry resulted in the former, that is Koch Bihar allying with the Mughals and Koch Hazo allying with the Ahoms. Most of the 17th century saw the Ahom-Mughal conflicts, the period between the first Mughal attack on Ahom kingdom in 1615 and the final battle of Itakuli in 1682. And now moving on to Ram Singh's campaign, which was during Aurangzeb's reign. In December 1667, the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb received intelligence of the capture of Guwahati by the Ahoms, and he at once resolved to dispatch a strong army to re-establish Mughal prestige on Guwahati. He commissioned Raja Ram Singh to lead an invasion of Assam. Raja Ram Singh reached the frontier garrison of Rangamati in February 1669. On Ram Singh's arrival at Rangamati, the Ahom commander stationed at the Manha attempted to oppose the advance of the enemy, but the Assamese could not attain any success. The Assamese were not prepared for such an eventuality, and they left their frontier garrisons and sailed down to Guwahati. The Ahoms had not quite completed their preparations for resisting Ram Singh's advance. Lachit Borphukan, the commander-in-chief of the Ahom camp, had realized fully that the postponement of this open encounter would enable him to bring his preparations to perfection in the light of enemy's superior strength. Despite all the efforts, the first two battles of the campaign that were fought near Tejpur in the beginning of April 1669, the Ahoms were worsted on both occasions and suffered defeat. But they won a crucial naval battle, which was known as the Battle of Saraighat. So here we can see the timeline of the Saraighat battle. After the invasion of Assam by Mir Jumla in 1662, the Ahoms were itching to retake Guwahati from the Mughals. This grand attack was launched on the night of 4 November when the Ahoms scaled the walls by ladders, and after 2 months of siege, Itakuli fell in mid-November 1667. The Mughals received some reinforcement at this point and retaliated against the Ahoms. The Ahoms fought back with their naval forces and removed them from their bases in Umananda and Barhat. This brought an end to the recapture of Guwahati, and the Ahoms were able to control their old Manas border once again. But this did not last long, as they had to beat a strategic retreat due to the advancing Mughal army of Raja Ram Singh. So Aurangzeb was informed of the losses on 19 December 1667, and he commissioned Raja Ram Singh to take back Guwahati. So when his army was approaching with a large force of 4,000 troopers, 1,500 Ahadis, and 500 Burgundies, by an additional 30,000 infantrymen, 21 Rajput chiefs with their contingents, 18,000 cavalry, 2,000 archers and shieldmen, and 40 ships. When Lachit surveyed this massive Mughal force, he was moved to tears and he uttered, "It is a tragedy that my country is facing this dire catastrophe during my Phukanship. How will my king be saved? How will my people be saved? And how will my prosperity be saved?" So in these attacks, the Ahom allies were the Garos, the Jaintias, the Nagas, the Rani of Darang, the Raja of Rani, and even the monsoons of 1669. And the north bank of the river Brahmaputra was under the command of Aton Buragohai, and the south bank was under the command of Lachit Borfukan. The Ahom soldiers were demoralized after their losses at Alaboy. The commander-in-chief Lachit Borfukan and their admiral were both seriously ill, and the Nara Raja, the son of Miri Sandikoi, was in command. The Ahom land forces under Laluk Borgohai Fukan also worsted the Mughals, but the Mughals both compelled the Ahom boats to retreat to Barhia, north of Saraighat. So the battle reached a crucial phase when the Mughals were beginning to get close to Andhrabali. The Borfukan as well as the Nara Raja sent messages to inspire the soldiers. So after seeing the entire situation, Lachit Borfukan thought that he has to do something on his own. So he ordered 7 war boats for himself and had Nadai of Kharangi carry him to a boat. He shouted, "The king has put all the people in my hands to fight the Bongal. Shall I go back to my wife and children?" and pushed a few men into the water. With the other 6 warboats, the Borfukan headed towards the naval battle. The entry of the Borfukan transformed the Ahom soldiers. His small flotilla soon swelled with Ahom warships from all sides that smashed into the Mughal warships at Amrajuli on the north bank, opposite Kamakhya Hills. The triangle in the river between Itakuli, Kamakhya, and Ashwakranta was filled with men and boat. The Mughal was ambushed from all sides. The Mughal admiral Munawar Khan, who was smoking a hookah at that time, was killed by a gunshot from the back, throwing the Mughals out of gear. They suffered the loss of 3 top-ranking amirs and another 4,000 dead. The Ahoms managed to secure a successful victory in this naval battle. Finally, the conflicts ended in the Battle of Itakuli, in which Mansur Khan was defeated. With this win, the Ahoms recovered Sarkar Kamrup from the Mughals. Now coming to geography of Assam. This is the map of the Assam with its district marked by numbers. So Assam is a state in northeastern India, south of the eastern Himalayas, along the Brahmaputra and the Barak River valleys. Assam covers an area of 78,438 kilometers square, 30,285 square miles. The state is bordered by Bhutan and Arunachal Pradesh to the north, Nagaland and Manipur to the east, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, and Bangladesh to the south, and West Bengal to the west. Via the Siliguri corridor, which is a wide strip of land of about 22 kilometers that connects Assam state to the rest of the India. The state lies between 24°9' north to 27°58' north latitude and 89°42' east to 96°1' east longitude. This is the geographic location. Physiographically, Assam can be divided into 4 divisions: Brahmaputra Valley, Barak Valley, Karbi Plateau, Bareilly, and Southern Hills. This is the Brahmaputra Valley region, which is situated between the hill ranges of the eastern and the northeastern Himalayan range in eastern India. The valley consists of the western Brahmaputra Valley covering the regions of Gwalpara and Kamrup, the central Brahmaputra Valley region covering Darang, Nagaon, and the north bank and eastern Brahmaputra Valley comprising districts of Sanitpur, Lakhimpur, Dibrugarh, and Sibsagar. The Teesta River is in North Bengal also drains into Brahmaputra River. The Brahmaputra Valley, with its rainforest-like climate conditions, some of the most productive soils in the world. The Brahmaputra river flows from Assam to Bengal, where it meets the Ganges river to form the world's largest delta, and finally flows into the Bay of Bengal in the south. It is the main physiographic division of Assam and is about 720 km long and 80 km wide. It covers about 72% of the total area of Assam. Actually, I'm going a little bit fast because of the time issue, since this is a very huge topic, and also this was a backup presentation. I don't know where our went, so sorry for that. Like the Brahmaputra Valley, the Barak Valley is also an important physiographic region of Assam. The Barak Valley consists of Barak Plain and its adjacent northern and southern foothills. The Barak River flows from 225 km in Assam from east to west through Kachar districts and along the northern boundary, Hailakandi and Karimganj districts. The important north bank tributaries of the Barak River are Chiri, Diksha, Digli, Ziri, Madhura, Jatinga, Larang, etc. And its south bank tributaries are Sonai, Dhaleswari, Katakhal, Singla, Langai, etc. Now, the third physiographic division, which is the Karbi Anglong Plateau, is an extension of the Indian Peninsular Plateau in the Assam, northeastern state of India. This area receives maximum rainfall from the southwest summer monsoon from June through September. Its geography, its average height of the plateau varies from 300 meters to 400 meters. Its highest peak is 1,363 meters. Karbi Anglong Plateau is a pear-shaped plateau. It has an area of about 7,000 kilometers square. It links with Meghalaya Plateau towards the south through a patch of low uneven terrain. And coming to the last, Baral Ranges is a territorial mountain range in northeastern India with an area of approximately 80,000 hectares between Brahmaputra and Barak basins, located in Dima Hasao district of Assam, stretching across to Meghalaya on the west, Nagaland and Manipur on the east. This is the Autonomous Council list of Assam. I have put it down for information purposes. So, and here is the district, all the 34 districts of Assam. If you would like, you can go through all the data given here. And on the right side, you can see all the languages of Assam. It was recorded in the 2011 census. Assamese is spoken by almost 46 or 41% of the population. Bengali 28%, Boro 4%, and other languages include Hindi, Sadri, Missing, Nepali, Karbi, etc. And the religion also, Hindus dominate the population with almost 100,000, 10,000 lakhs, 10 lakhs crores, 19 crores, I guess. Yeah, and the data is given here. You can see it for yourselves. Moving on to economy of Assam. So the economy of Assam is largely agriculture based, with 69% of the population engaged in it. Assam's biggest contribution to the world is its tea. Assam produces some of the finest and the most expensive teas in the world. Other than the Chinese variety, Camellia sinensis, Assam is the only region in the world that has its own variety of tea called Camellia assamica. Assam tea is grown at elevations near sea level, giving it a malty sweetness and an earthy flavor as opposed to the more floral aroma of highland, example Darjeeling and Taiwanese teas. Assam also accounts for a fair share of India's production of rice, rapeseed, mustard, geode potato, sweet potato, banana, papaya, areca nut, and turmeric. Assam is also a home of large variety of citrus fruits, leaf vegetables, useful grasses, herbs, spices, etc., which are most subsistence crops. And another useful contribution to the economy is oil and gas. Assam is a major producer of crude oil and natural gas in India. It was placed as the second in the world after Titusville in the United States, where petroleum was discovered. Asia's first successful mechanically drilled oil well was drilled in Makum, which is in Assam, way back in 1867. The second oldest oil well in the world still produces crude oil. Most of the oil fields of Assam are located in the upper Assam region of the Brahmaputra Valley. Assam has 4 oil refineries located at Guwahati, Digboi, Numaligarh, and Bongaigaon with a total capacity of 7 million tons per year. One of the biggest public sector oil company of the country, Oil India Limited, has its plant and headquarters at Duliajan. So this is the economy of Assam, which has a GDP rank of 17th in India, I guess. And GDP growth is 8.5%. And GDP per capita is rupees 119,155, which accounts to US dollars of 1,700. which is not as great, I suppose. So you can, I don't know much about this economics and all, since I'm a science student. So you can see it yourselves. I have given the data here. And moving on to good practices, Assam is the meeting ground of diverse cultures. The people of the enchanting state of Assam are an intermixture of various racial stocks such as Mongoloid, Indo-Burmese, Indo-Aryan, and Indo-Iranian and Aryan. The Assamese culture is a rich and exotic tapestry of these races evolved through a long assimilative process. So the two important cultural and religious institutions that influence the cultural fabric of Assam, the Satras, which is the site of religious and cultural practice, have been in existence for over more than 400 years, and the Namghar, which is also known as the House of Prayers. There are various elements which are being used to represent beliefs, feelings, pride, identity, etc., and are considered as important symbolic elements in the Assamese culture. The quintessential symbols are the Asamiya Gamucha, Japi, Tamolpan, and Horai. Guests and influential or important people are welcomed or greeted by these tokens of love and respect. Traditional attire worn by women called the Mekhela Sador and Assamese jewelry also form an integral part of the Assamese culture. Assamese women have a decent and well-disciplined dressing sense. Marriages in Assam are simpler and lesser in cost. There are no discrimination seen among the male and the female child. Men and women have an equal balance in society. Food in Assamese traditional cuisines contain less spices and lesser amounts of oil. Dowry systems are not practiced in Assam. And definitely there were few, I guess, more than a few good practices of Assam, but I couldn't find them out just like the Tamil Nadu presenters did. So sorry for that, because I couldn't find them. And moving on to SWOT analysis of Assam. The prospect of some industries of Assam have been defined into 4 categories: strength, weakness, opportunities, threats. Moving on to strength, Assam is the most vibrant part of the Northeast India, which is a green paradise, combines so many and such varied passions and beauties. Assam has a world-class tourism resources, and those correspond to celestial and amazing diversity to offer to tourists. There is hardly any other state like Assam which has greater variety and color in its natural scenery and in the cultural treasures of the people that inhabit it. Flora and fauna of world-famous wildlife sanctuaries like Kaziranga National Park, Manas National Park, or Orang National Park, and other give a lasting impression. Pilgrimage destinations such as Kamakhya, Hajo, Vasishtharam, Navagraha Temple, and other are there. The historical city with important archaeological remains and monuments such as Sibsagar speak of a glorious past and high architectural achievements. The state also enjoys a pride of place in the country with its rich heritage of artistic craftsmanship. The basket work and mats of Kamrup, Sibsagar, and Noga are well known, and Kachar district is known for its very special Sital Patti mats. The mighty Brahmaputra River, rock hills in Morigao district, trekking routes of North Kachar hills welcome adventure tourists to conquer them and enjoy this all with their high spirits. Assam, a tea country, has 2 of the oldest plantations of Assam, Sensua and Gatonga, at 15 minutes drive from nearest Jorhat airport and a world within world. The tea states spanning over hundreds of acres offer tourists the special freedom to meander through them, watching the dappled sunlight filter through the shade trees and weave patterns of black and white on the neatly pruned tea bushes. Easy accessibility to Assam by all modes of transport. Some of the new policies of Government of India and the state government are oriented towards giving a thrust to the development of tourism sector in Assam. Weaknesses in the tourism sector are a lack of comprehensive policy framework of the state government for long-term development of tourism, despite it having a lot of potential. The lack of awareness in overseas countries of the state's natural and cultural features of outstanding attractions. Lack of sufficient awareness, education, and publicity amongst local residents regarding economic, social, and cultural benefits of tourism. Lack of coordination among tourism administrators, owners of the hotel industry, Travel and Tourism Association, other constitutes of government like town and country planning department, civil aviation, PWD, environment, railway, etc. Deficiencies in infrastructures like poor road conditions or non-accessibility, poor solid waste management system, and lack of adequate security cover, lack of adequate professional training facilities for human resource development. These are many weaknesses of the state of Assam. So lack of convenient direct international air services to Guwahati, Assam from the major tourist generating centers of Western Europe, Northeast Asia, North America, and Australia or New Zealand. Assam has enormous potentials of tourism with respect to its segments, including heritage tourism, but it has not made able to make an exclusive destination image itself in order to set a guarantee of success. Now moving on to opportunities, Assam in the northeast, the virgin most tourist destination of the whole India. Visitors will find down here plains and rivers, valleys quietly nestled in beautiful parallel mountain ranges commanding different highest phenomenon attributed to a gradual process of evolution. These attributes include natural features, inland, the topography, the floral and fauna, the cultural features, heritage, monuments, events, are music and dance, built feature, tourist accommodation tours and recreational facilities, urban and rural environment, infrastructure and amenities, transportation, communication, shopping, comfort, amenities, effective service, trained in technical, linguistic, and social skills. And these are the threats. Despite being a unique tourist destination, Assam has some challenges as well. These are as such. Other tourist destinations as Maharashtra, Kerala, Rajasthan, etc. are posing stiff competitions for Assam through providing better tourism-based infrastructures, developing the resources, and by marketing aggressively about themselves as a great tourist destination. Tourists don't take long distances to access to Assam and its districts due to poor transportation system, conditions of roads, and poor tourist facilities. Infrastructures, if not improved, especially roads, solid waste management, power, and accommodation, it would create major hindrances in the development of tourism in Assam. So these were the references from where I took all my stuff. Thank you.
Hello, yeah, Jain sir. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Jai Hind, everyone.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind,
Jai
sir.
Hind,
sir.
Good evening. Yeah.
Jain, sir. Jain,
Yeah,
sir.
Jai Hind. I'm Lieutenant Palvinder, from 1 Arunachal Pradesh Battalion, NCC Teshpur Group, NER Directorate. So today my topic will be about the Arunachal Pradesh. As you know that Arunachal Pradesh is the easternmost part of the India, right? And here I'm going to discuss about the historical geography and economic of Arunachal Pradesh. So I'm just starting right now, and I hope that you like my presentations, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
I'm just sharing my screen. My screen is visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
So now I'm just going to take you in the world of Arunachal Pradesh. It's a very beautiful place, and I hope that you like my presentation. Fine. So Arunachal Pradesh, the gateway of scenery first. So you can see it here, the different tribes of Arunachal Pradesh, okay? And have you seen the different tribe, the colorful tribe of Arunachal Pradesh? Here in Arunachal Pradesh, that's having the 25 major tribes and sub-major tribe is 125, right? So here, this is the map of Arunachal Pradesh. You can see this is the statistical map of Arunachal Pradesh. Is covering by Bhutan, China, and Myanmar. Okay, so you can see that we're having this international border with sharing border with Bhutan, China, and the Myanmar. You can see here that the easternmost part of the India. Okay, and the first sunrise falls in Arunachal Pradesh. So some fact of Arunachal Pradesh, just I'm going to tell you, area of about 83,743 square kilometers, the largest northeast state with a forest coverage around the 80%. Okay, so have you seen the map of, I think everybody has seen the map of Arunachal Pradesh. So it's the largest state in Arunachal Pradesh and covered by the 80% of the forest area. Arunachal Pradesh means what? Means land of rising sun. So here we can see that if we speak about the Arunachal Pradesh, it's the largest. I think somebody is presenting. Please stop the presenting. My presentation is visible to you all or not?
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So it's a land of rising sun. The sun rises first in Arunachal Pradesh in India, in Dhong. One place is called Dhong. So there you can find that the first, the rising suns. You know that around the 4:30 in the morning, you can see the sun in the Dhong area. And the Arunachal Pradesh is the home of 26 major tribes, and numbers of the sub-tribes, it's around 125, and each with a distinct traditional and customs. Biodiversity hotspots and with the 9 wildlife sanctuary here in Arunachal Pradesh, and 2 national park and 1 biosphere reserve. Due to the topographic diversity, the climate in Arunachal Pradesh range in the subtropical, temperate, and alpine depending upon the altitude of the higher altitude locations, witnessing the snowfall during the winter. So here we can find that the snowfall is also there. Okay, so in the northern part of Arunachal Pradesh, like area like a Tawang and all. So the best month to travel from October to April. However, some of the locations can be visited throughout the year also. So some fact of Arunachal Pradesh is a part of what we call the Seven Sister in the northeast states. And the border with the sharing with the Assam in the south, and the Nagaland with southeast, and Myanmar in the east, Bhutan in the west, and McMahon line separated from the people of Republic of China to the north. Okay, so as I discussed with the sharing the international border, much about Arunachal Pradesh is covered with the Himalayas. However, the part of the Lohit, Changlang, and Tirap covered with the Paktai, Kangto, and the Nagar Kaseng Hills. So Itanagar is the capital of Arunachal Pradesh. Now we'll discuss about the history of Arunachal Pradesh. So it began with the inception of the British rule in Assam. Okay, so it's started with the inception of the British rule in the Assam. So area was popularly known as a Nefa. So earlier is known as a Nefa. Now, presently in 1972, we have got the name of Arunachal Pradesh. But before that, is saying that Nefa, NEF, that's Northeast Frontier Agencies. Okay. Because of its strategic importance, it was administered by the Ministry of External Affairs until 1965. So it was under the Ministry of External Affairs until 1965. Subsequently, by the Ministry of Home Affairs through the Governor of Assam, in 1972, it was constituted as a union territory and renamed as a Arunachal Pradesh. So now the present Arunachal Pradesh, before 1972, is called by the NEFA, N-E-F-E, NEFA. So on the 20th February 1987, it became the 24th state of the Indian Union. In 1987, it got the statehood. Okay. And you can see the beautiful animals here that the Bos frontalis is called the mithun, and the hornbill bird. It's a state animal You can see here, it's called a mithun. It's like a buffalo, okay? And one beautiful bird is there, it's called a hornbill. Some of the tribes of Arunachal Pradesh, you can see the some of the tribe because it's having 25 and 125 tribes. So I'll just discuss with only a few important tribes of Arunachal Pradesh. So culture of Arunachal Pradesh is truly distinct with the comparison of the 26 different tribes, including with the various sub-tribes. Each tribe followed by its own traditional customs, and there are mainly three cultural groups in Arunachal Pradesh. The first group is made of the Mampas, Sadupins, Tawangs, and West Kaming, and that the traditions of the Mahayana Buddhism. And the second group comprises of the Adis, Akas, Apatanis, Bagnis, Mirzis, Mismis, and the Nishi, and the Thonga are the worship in the sun and moon. That's called Doni Polo, okay? And the third group comprises of the Nokte and Wangchu tribe, which communities of the Tirap districts, and they have to follow the basic mannerisms and maintain the strict village society, which is ruled by the hereditary chiefs. They having still the king system is there. So the Nishi tribe, you can see the tribes of the Nishi tribe with a beautiful color and the customs. So the Nishi is spelled as Nishi, also called Bagni, and the project with the Daflas. And the tribal peoples of the Eastern Bhutans and the Arunachal Pradesh speaks an Indo-Tibetan language with a Sino with a Tibetan family. The Nishi supports themselves with a slash and burn agricultures. Hunting with the fishings, and they're having the elevations of 3,000 to 6,000 feet. And about the 900 to 1,800 meter. The houses built with the planks in the distance with along with a partenarial lines and the single lingerings with numbers of the 60 to 70 persons live together with a long house made of the bamboos, and that you can see the partitions with a separate fireplaces in each of the conjugal family. Now next tribe is of the Apatani tribe. You can see here one tribe is there, it's called the Apatani. That Apatani or Ethani are the tribal groups of the people living in the zero. One place is called very beautiful places, you know, and sometimes the music festival is also there. So I request the cadets or the officers from the South India that we are taking the part, please visit to Arunachal Pradesh. The zero is a very beautiful place, okay? So the Apatanis are one of the major ethnic groups of the Eastern Himalayas and having the distinct civilizations with a systematic land and the participation with the rich traditional ecological knowledge of the natural resource management and the conservations, and with having the creature of the informal and that have been experimentation. The tribes known of the colorful cultures, the various tribes in the handloom, design, skill, cane, bamboo, craft, and the vibrant in the traditional village, and the council is called the Bulyan. Okay. So next tribe you can see here, this Mompa tribe. Basically the Mompa tribe, they follow the traditional Buddhism cultures. The Mompa are the major ethnic groups of the Arunachal Pradesh in the northeast India. They are also one of the 56 official recognized ethnic groups in China. The origin of the Mompa people is unclear, like the other tribes, the northeast India. The Mompas are believed to have migrated to the Tawang and the westernmost part of the Arunachal Pradesh. The Mompa are believed to be nomadic tribes in Arunachal Pradesh. Now that is we are having the beautiful tribes is called the Galo tribe. The Galo are the central eastern Himalaya tribe who are the descendants of the Abotani and speak the Tani and the Tani language. The Galo people are primarily inhabited with the Western Siangs and the Leparada and the Lower Singh districts of the modern day of Arunachal Pradesh. The state in the northeast had, but they have also found in the southwest, and they have the eastern Siang districts and the southern eastern side of the upper Siang, and the districts of the small pocket in Itanagar and the lower Dibang Valley and Changlang districts. They have a name that had been used for the reference of the Galo in the past in the Duba, Doba, and Doba, Abor, Galo, and the Kalong, and Adis, etc. So some of the dances of Arunachal Pradesh, you can see here the dance and the music of the essential part of the Arunachal tribe. They're having the dance of the occasions during the times of the festivals. Okay, the beautiful dances you can see here. The festival of Arunachal Pradesh are the celebrated in the various occasions of basically during relating to all the cultures programs like a festival. Here we can say the Loser, Solung, Boribut, Mopin, Dri, Nyokum, Re, Sidoni, etc. So here are some of the festivals that you can see the picture of the colorful picture of Arunachal Pradesh, and the festivals in Nyokum, Solung, the festival of the Mohmol, the Losar, Mompas tribes, and the Dri for the Apatarin tribes, Mopin for the Galo tribes, and the Sangten Khamti and the Cholo Lukonokti tribes. Actually, the peoples of here, they follow of the three religions like a Doni Polo, they just worship of the sun and moon, and the Christianity and the Buddhisms. The art and craft of Arunachal Pradesh. The Arunachal Pradesh is gifted with a traditional craftsman skill that have been from the generation and generations. Local men are the skills in weaving, carpet making, and wood carving, painting, and pottery making, canes, bamboo works, smith works, and the basketries, and many more that are expected to make the handicraft and the handlooms. And the food habits of Arunachal Pradesh, the rice and meat are the staple food in Arunachal Pradesh. Mostly the people of Arunachal Pradesh, they eat the rice, and the boiled vegetables, and the meats. Okay, green chilies, okay, coriander, and the gingers, boiled rice cakes, thuppa, momos, the traditional dishes, and the favored by the peoples. The food is less spice and Arunachal Pradesh is about the agriculture. So agriculture is the main occupation of the people of Arunachal Pradesh. They are doing the jhum cultivation. It's also called burn and slash cultivations. Okay, so the major occupation of the farmer, the jhuming, involving the clearings of the portion of the forest land and cutting down the burning of the trees and showing the seeds and those who are having the help with the pauper. And that's where the farmer and have been relying from the farmer agriculture and livelihood for the years now. And about the horticultures, you can see the horticulture had been identified the most important sector for the sustained development of Arunachal Pradesh, owing to having the available lands, and again for the hardworking farmer, there is immense scope of the future growth and development in the horticulture. Farmer growing with quantity of the kiwis, gingers, pineapples, cardamoms, okay, this type of the horticulture products you can find in the Arunachal Pradesh. Now the industries, if you say that about the industries, is having the tree industries in Siang district of Arunachal Pradesh, and some of the Wakro is also very famous tea in Arunachal Pradesh. It's having the district, particularly in the Londing side, and that you're having that Kharsang is also one place here where we find the oil refineries. So about the tourism, you can see that it's very beautiful places of Arunachal Pradesh. So, so it's a nature. You can say the ecotourism, adventure sports, cultural traditions, local tourism festivals, spiritual relays. So you can see some of the beautiful places of Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, this is a village area. We just see in the hill area how they constructed their houses made of the bamboos. Okay, the natural walks. You can see that the natural vegetation for Arunachal Pradesh, very nice. Snowfall. This area is the Tawang districts. You can see the Salapas area. Okay, so if you want to visit, some of the people are visiting for seeing this the snowfall. They're just visiting the Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir. So I request my cadets and officers to also visit in Arunachal Pradesh, that we having this type of the landscaping over here in Arunachal Pradesh. Look at here, exotic locations, very beautiful places. This hanging bridge is in India is the largest hanging bridge. You can see the beautiful scenery of Arunachal Pradesh. Different colorful birds. You can see that the Iglis Wildlife Sanctuary has the second highest bird species after the Andes in the South Africa. Okay, so it's a second highest. So wildlife, you can see the different types of the animals here in the Namdalma National Park. Orchid is there. More than 600 species of orchid you will find in Arunachal Pradesh, and flora and fauna. This angling, the peoples of the Arunachal Pradesh are very much, they like to doing the fishing and all. Rafting, you can do it here in the rivers. This is the culture traditionals, dress with the colorful dresses of Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, some of the famous tourist destination is a Tava monastery. It's a 400 years old monastery. It's the oldest monastery of India. and about the height of that, about the 3048 meter above the sea level. Zero Valley is a very beautiful places here that in one music festivals they are going to organize in the month of October in every year. See, Malinithan Mandir is also, this temple is very important, that Lord Krishna, after the marriage, he came with Rukmani in this place. It's called the Malinithan. It's located in the Likhavali district of Arunachal Pradesh. Ita Fort, you can see the one Gompa is there and one fort is there. That's why this name says Itanagar came to exist. So Bhalukpung is there. You can see the very beautiful scenery of the Bhalukpung. The Pashuram Kund, the Lord Pashuram came here in Arunachal Pradesh in the district of the Tejus. Okay, it's a very famous pilgrimage place of the Hindus. Also, different part of from the sand they have visited in these places in the month of the January. The Bismarck Nagar is there. I think you have know the names of the King Bismarck. So it's a Bismarck King is the kingdom they have built in this part. The Naksha Parbat is also very famous place. The Pakau Wildlife Sanctuary is here. The Gaudetian Peak, you can see the Gaudetian Peak, the very beautiful Gaudetian Peak, covered with a snow-capped mountain, and Golden Pagoda Namsai. This is a very nice Buddhist, for those who follow the Buddhist religions. This Gompai is there. It's in the Namsai district. Mechuka, you can see I say that the Switzerland of the East. It's a very beautiful place, the Mechuka. This Bumla Pass is there. You can see the Bumla Pass. This is the Tawang district. It's bordering from especially the Indo-China borders. Personal meeting is also there. And every year is about of the 15,200 feet above the sea level. So Bumla Pass is the highest altitude pass in the Indo-China border. So about the education here, the university is 9, degree college is 22, technical college is 7, medical college is 1, and the agriculture college is 1, and school is 285. Jai Hind, and I hope that you like my presentations. And yes, sir. Yeah, no, sir. I don't have any of the contact of your group. So if you can share your number, so I can write it down and I can send to you. Yes, sir. 61 BN, Baralian. Okay, fine. Meghalaya, okay, fine. Definitely. Okay, fine. Okay, Jai Hind.
Good morning, officers and cadets. On behalf of 1 Puducherry Air Squadron NCC, I, Flying Officer Dr. M. Supriya, welcome you all for this Ek Bharat Shesha Bharat Phase 8 webinar to be held from 26 July to 30th July 2021. I hope and wish that this webinar will ensure you a good learning experience. Now this session introduces to you the basic greetings and some common sentences uttered in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, French and Bengali, that is the languages of Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So before beginning to learn about the above mentioned greetings and common spoken sentences, let us listen to a word of introduction about the state Tamil Nadu and the Union Territories Puducherry and Andaman and Nicobar. This slide displays the map of Tamil Nadu with some basic facts. Now let us lend our ears to learn more about the state. The word Tamil Nadu literally means the land of Tamils or Tamil country, which has Chennai as a
heartwarming welcome to everyone present over. A heartwarming welcome to everyone present over here. We Naval Cadet S. Charumati and Naval Cadet Preeti, the cadets of 1P Naval Unit NCC, Puducherry Group, Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry and Andaman Directorate. Welcome you all for the conduct of online Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat Saptah. In this video, we are going to present the history, geography, economy, good practices and SWOT analysis of Puducherry. Introduction. Puducherry was formerly known as Pondicherry. It is a union territory of India. It is formed out of 4 territories of former French India, namely Pondicherry, Karaikal, Mahe and Yanam. The original name of territory is Puduseri. It is derived from the Tamil words Pudu and Seri. Pudu means new and Seri means village. Due to problem in pronouncing, the French changed this name to Pondicherry until its name officially changed to Puducherry in 2006. Puducherry, also known as the French Riviera in 2006. It is derived from the Tamil words Pudu and Seri. Pudu means new and Seri means village. Due to problem in pronouncing, the French changed this name to Pondicherry until its name officially changed to Puducherry in 2006. Puducherry, also known as the French Riviera of the East. The main reasons are its signature history and the Indo-French culture followed the region until date. Puducherry gains its pride to be the Paris of the East due to the fact that the portion of its territory is still a replica of French tradition and culture. The Vedic name of Pondicherry was Vedpuri. According to Hindu mythology, this place was the ashram of sage Agastya. Saint Agastya established his ashram in Puducherry and the place is known as Agasthiswaram. An inscription found near the Vedapurishwaram temple confirms it. History of Puducherry. Puducherry had a flourishing maritime history. Excavations at Arikamedu shows that Romans came here to trade at 1st century AD. Trade included dyed textiles, pottery, semi-precious stones, etc. Historians believe that they have referred to Puducherry as Poduka or Poduke. In the 4th century, Pallavas ruled over Puducherry, making it a part of Kanchipuram kingdom. By the 10th century AD, Cholas took over Puducherry. From 13th century AD, Puducherry was in the control of Pandya kingdom. After a brief invasion by the Muslim rulers of the north who established the Sultanate of Madurai, the Vijayanagar Empire took control of almost all the south of India, with their power lasting until 1638 when the Sultan of Bijapur began to rule over Jinji. During the 16th century, the Portuguese established a trading factory in Puducherry. They were compelled to leave the city by the ruler of Jinji belonging to Vijayanagar Empire, who found them unfriendly. After the Portuguese, the second European power to capture Pondicherry was the Dutch. The French East India Company was an imperial commercial enterprise founded on 1st September 1664 to compete with the English and Dutch trading companies in the East Indies. The French were late by 6 decades in India. As with other European colonists, British and the Dutch, the French too started their colonization through commercial activities. The first French factory in India was established at Surat in 1668. In 1673, the French purchased land at Chandranagar from the Mughal governor of Bengal. The next year, in 1674, they acquired Pondicherry from the Sultan of Bijapur. Both became the centers of maritime commercial activities of the French in India. In 1674, Francois Martin, the first French governor, transformed Puducherry from a small fishing village into flourishing port town. Puducherry port flourished as a center of international trade and commerce during the French rule. Here is a picture of Pondicherry Lighthouse and Old Port. This is the White Town area of Pondicherry. The French East India Company was formed by Jean-Baptiste Colbert in 1666, established settlements in 1668 at Surat, but they were driven out by the Dutch and the British in 1720. In 1674, the French East India Company set up a trading center at Pondicherry. This outpost eventually became the chief French settlement in India. Dutch and British trading companies de facto transfer of the four French territories, namely Pondicherry, Karaikal, Mahe and Yanam, to the Union of India took place on 1st November 1954. It was a reign of 138 years under French, and finally on 31st October 1954, they left the Indian shores following de facto transfer of power. De jure transfer was completed on May 28, 1956. Instruments of ratification were signed on August 16, 1962. The territory formally took the name Puducherry in 2006. Pondicherry is synonymous with French heritage in India, and centuries of French rule has imparted this place a strong French feel in its architecture and monuments.
Geography of Puducherry. Puducherry lies in southern part of India, sandwiched by Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Andhra Pradesh. Total area covers 483 square kilometers. Coastline 45 kilometers. Inland water 1.437 hectares. Puducherry consists of 4 small unconnected districts bounded by Bay of Bengal on east and other sides by Tamil Nadu. Karaikal is located near Tanjavur district of Tamil Nadu at 140 kilometers south of Puducherry. Mahe lies south of Mahe River in Kerala on the west coast of India. Yanam is at a distance of 813 kilometers east of Puducherry, situated in Godavari district of Andhra Pradesh. Puducherry covers 293 square kilometers. The population is 2.44 lakhs. The population is based on the data taken in the year 2011. Mahe 9 square kilometer. Population 41,816. Yanam 30 square kilometer. Population 55,626. Karaikal 160 square kilometer. Population 2 lakhs. Area. The total area of Puducherry is 492 square kilometer. Puducherry 293 square kilometer. Karaikal 160 square kilometer. Mahe 9 square kilometer and Yanam 30 square kilometer. The geographical location of Puducherry is between 11 degree 56 minutes north latitude, 79 degree 50 minutes east longitude. The total population is about 12,44,464 according to the census taken in 2011. Rainfall and climate. The region receives the rain under the influence of both southwest and northeast monsoon. Normal annual rainfall is 1383 mm. Puducherry has a hot and tropical climate with little variation of temperature and humid weather. The summer season is from March to May. January to the end of February is comparatively cool. The hottest season during the year is May to early part of June. The relative humidity of Pondicherry is very high. The maximum temperature may even reach 43 degrees Celsius. The lowest temperature recorded is 11 degrees Celsius. Rivers. Senchi rivers cover diagonally from northeast to southwest side. Pennaya river and boundary line of Puducherry. Kaveri streams through Karaikal area. Godavari is exclusive river in Yanam. Mahe river and Moolakadavu river is situated in Mahe. Language. Bahur copper plates issued in 8th century mentions the presence of a Sanskrit university in the area, which also implies that other than Tamil, Sanskrit was also used as a dialect. French was the official language of Puducherry under the Treaty of Cession 1956. It remained as de jure official language of Pondicherry Union Territory by the Article 28 of Treaty of Cession. Article 28 of Treaty of Cession states that the French language shall remain the official language of the establishment so long as the elected representatives of the people shall not decide otherwise. During the early 20th century, Tamil gained equal status alongside the existing French language. The Pondicherry Official Language Act 1965, Act No. 3 of 19 Agriculture and Allied Activities. Major crops are rice, sugarcane,
Aurobindo Ashram, Bharati Park, Botanical Garden, Pondicherry Museum, Our Lady of Angels Church, Serenity Beach, French War Memorial, Paradise Beach, Karakal Church, Immaculate Conception Cathedral, Mahe Riverside, a bird's eye view of Yanam. Economy of Puducherry Fisheries. Puducherry has a total length of about 45 kilometers of coastline. There are 28 sea fishing villages. Seafood has attracted many tourists. Dairy farming, milk production and distribution is well organized. The dairy farmers of Puducherry, with the initiatives of the government of Puducherry, has an exclusive union, namely the Pondicherry Cooperative Milk Producers Union, PONLAID. Industries. Puducherry has nearly 5,500 small-scale industries, 23 large-scale industries, 18 medium-scale industries. These provide employment to more than 50,000 people. Transportation. Puducherry has an excellent system of transportation like railways, roadways, airways and more. Airway is assisted by Pondicherry Airport located in Laspet. Railway is connected with major metropolitan cities. To ensure comfortable transport, Union Territory has PRTC, Puducherry Road Transport Corporation. Various provisions are available for passengers in the form of Express, Deluxe and Ultra Deluxe. There are 163 buses under PRTC.
Good practices of Puducherry. Union Territory shares a joyful and relaxed culture. Every festival event and cultural event is celebrated with great joy and zeal. Clean and beautiful beach. It has an excellent cuisine ranging from traditional Indian to French and its unique Indo-French flavors. Heart of the town is planned neat and elegant. Cost of living is quite low compared to big cities. Air is virgin, free from excess smoke. Sri Rajiv Gandhi breakfast scheme, in which milk and biscuits are provided to government and government-aided schools apart from midday meal scheme. 50% concession on stamp duty for property registration in women name. SWOT analysis of Puducherry. Strengths. Pondicherry is also known as the French capital of India. So Pondicherry is great tourist destination. Pondicherry is the home to several electronics and IT hardware such as Lenovo, Wipro, HCL, Infosys, NCR Corporation, etc. India's second best medical college, JIPMER, is located in Pondicherry. Network of professional and other colleges marking Puducherry as an educational hub. Very good hospitals and schools are there in Pondicherry. Weakness. Constrained land availability due to dispersed and non-availability of land. Relatively poor planning of urban areas leading to congestion of land. Reducing competitiveness of small and medium enterprises. Paucity of funds and dependence on central government for resources. Opportunities. Pondicherry has potential for growth in the following areas. Service sectors such as tourism, IT and ITS. Electronics or light engineering and processing industries. Integrating the development of the respective regions of Puducherry synergistically with the neighboring regions can also herald growth. Threats. Threats include pollution, congestion, decreasing water table and coastal erosion. A pan-India alignment towards greater uniformity in taxes has removed advantages earlier available to Puducherry. Challenges in preserving heritage structure. Conclusion. Pondicherry was the capital of French colonies in India since 17th century. Is still the window of French culture. The French legacy is visible in the well-planned town, neatly laid roads, wide and vibrant beaches, beautiful promenade, architecturally imposing churches and public buildings, etc. Puducherry is one of the most popular tourist spots in India for national and international tourists.
Jai Hind.
Yes, sir. Audible.
Yes, sir.
Songainen, Songainen, you can start your presentation. Songainen, Songainen, start your presentation.
Okay, ma'am.
Songainen, please start your presentation. Songainen, unmute yourself. Unmute.
Ma'am, I'm having some problems right now. It's not sharing properly, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. It's there.
This is Senior Under Officer Songni Kegu, along with my Junior Under Officer Sarah Evans Dakar of Assam Rifles Public School, affiliated to the 2nd Meghalaya Battalion of the Shillong Group, presenting to you a video documentary on the history, geography, economy, good practices, and the SWOT analysis of Meghalaya.
Meghalaya, which means the abode of clouds. The state of Meghalaya is present in the northeastern part of India. The capital of Meghalaya is Shillong. And during the British rule of India, the British imperial authorities nicknamed it as the Scotland of the East. Meghalaya was previously part of Assam, but on the 21st of January 1972, the districts of Khasi, Garo, and Jantia Hills became the new state of Meghalaya. Meghalaya is one of the 7 sister states of Northeast. Winnisan Ampang Sangma was born on 18th December 1919 and died on the 25th of October 1990. He was the Garo leader and was the founder chief minister of Meghalaya, the 21st state of India, on the 21st of January 1972. He was elected as the chief executive member of the Garo Hills Autonomous District Council, GHADC. He then became the member of the Assam Legislative Assembly and was made the cabinet minister in the Assam government. In 1960, the Assam Provincial Congress Committee directed the Chief Minister of Assam to declare Assamese as the state language. Captain Sangma resigned from the cabinet in protest against the Assamese language policy. of the 1950s. Meghalaya, carved out of Assam. Prior to 1970, the state of Meghalaya was an integral part of undivided Assam. The capital city, Shillong, was the capital of Assam. Meghalaya was created as an autonomous state within the state of Assam on the 2nd of April 1970. The full-fledged state of Meghalaya came into existence on the 21st of January 1972. Meghalaya was formed by carving out two districts from the state of Assam, the United Khasi Hills and Jaintia Hills, and the Garo Hills on the 21st of January 1972. Good practices practiced by the people of Meghalaya. These are some of the good practices that the people of Meghalaya practice. Point number 1. The women in the Khasi society are treated equally as the men. Both men as well as women have an equal share to everything, not only in the family, but in the community as a whole. Point number 2. The Khasi society is matrilineal, that is, it is based on kinship with the mother or the female line. So, the children born in a Khasi community would be given the mother's surname instead of the father's. Point number 3. The Khasi people never address their elders by their names, but by Ba for males and Kong for females. And lastly, point number 4. In the Khasi tradition, the people would always offer kwai and timpo, that is, betel nut and betel nut leaf. They offer it not only to the rich, but to everyone as a sign of warmth. It breaks the monetary barrier.
The geography of the state. Meghalaya is a hilly state in the northeastern region of India, between the plains of Assam in the north and Bangladesh in the south. The Khasi Hills and Jaintia Hills, which form the central and eastern parts of the state, are an imposing plateau with rolling grasslands, hills, and river valleys. Nearly 37.5% area of the total land is under forest. The state has a number of rivers, but none of them are navigable. As the name suggests, the state is associated with clouds. The state falls under the temperate zone, which favors luxuriant growth of vegetation and thick forests with rich varieties of flora and fauna. It is directly influenced by the southwest monsoon and northeastern winds, making it very humid. The climate of the central and eastern Meghalaya is conducive, whereas in the west, it becomes oppressive as winters pass. Cherrapunji-Mawsynram region receives the highest rainfall in the world, with an average of 12,670 millimeters. The rainfall is heaviest in southeastern Garo Hills and decreases in the central regions and in the north. Sora is the most famous part of the state, with wondrous sights to behold, such as the Kalikai Falls, the Living Root Bridge, the Mausmai Cave, and the Daintlen Falls. The economy of the state. Agriculture. Agriculture is the main source of occupation of the state. Nearly 80% of the state's population is dependent primarily on agriculture livelihood. Jhum cultivation is still practiced in this state. The cash crops are potato, turmeric, ginger, black pepper, areca nut, betel white, tapioca, cotton, and jute. The agroclimatic variations of the state support the horticulture production. The state is renowned for its oranges, pineapples, bananas, jackfruits, and some temperate fruits like plums and peaches. Industries. Meghalaya is an industrially backward state. However, there is a public sector cement factory in Cherrapunji. Besides this, there are also cement plants at Damas and Sutma. Apart from these, there are a number of small-scale industries like bakeries, furniture making, steel fabrication, and spice. The Meghalaya Industrial Development Corporation, the MIDC, assists the industrial units by way of term loans and by participating equity capital. Mines and minerals. Meghalaya has rich natural resources like limestone and coal. But the quality of the coal is not good due to high sulfur content. Other mineral deposits like sillimanite, feldspar, glass sand, dolomite, fire clay, and quartz are also found in the state. Tourism. The entire state is full of lush green vegetation and presents a soothing sight to the people from the plains and to all lovers of nature. Shillong, the city capital, is the most beautiful hill resort in the northeastern region. It is a place of great interest with its orchids and tree-lined boulevards. Shillong has a number of tourist attractions like Watts Lake, Lady Hydro Park, Polo Ground, Elephant Falls, Shillong Peak, and the Golf Lake. Cherrapunji remains a perennial source of interest to the visitors because of its record rainfall. Simsang Valley in the Garo Hills has also delighted the tourists. The SWOT analysis of the state. Strengths. Large youth population. More than 65% of the population of the state is below the age of 30. Hence, the state has a large young working population, giving it a huge benefit. Capable female workforce. Meghalaya is the only state in India where a matriarchal society is prevalent. The women in the state are as much outgoing, hardworking, and entrepreneurial as the men. Availability of English-speaking manpower. Meghalaya has been traditionally known for its education system during the British rule in India, as a result of which Shillong still has some of the best colleges in the whole of Northeast, producing graduates who have very strong English-speaking capability. Prevalent Western culture in cosmopolitan environment. Shillong has been known for its educational institutes in the whole of Northeast. This has attracted students from other northeastern states of India, resulting in a cosmopolitan culture that has developed in the city. Availability of cheaper manpower in comparison to other states. Meghalaya has a fairly large pool of skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled labor. There is no adequate supply of secretarial staff in most parts of the state. A fair number of management and technical personnel have qualifications from recognized professional institutions and universities of India. Good climate. The year-long moderately cool climate of Meghalaya is conducive to industrial development, particularly for hardware industry. It is also one of the cleanest and pollution-free states. Weaknesses. Poor communication and physical infrastructure. The whole state has a low telephone density compared to national average. Though the telephone density in Shillong is higher than the rest of the state, but reliability of connection is still an issue. Broadband connectivity is low, costly, and unreliable. The state still has vast areas of underdeveloped land and regions that have been untouched by modern development. Poor healthcare facilities in the state. The death rate in the state is higher than the rest of the country. Life expectancy is also low in the state compared with the rest of India. Only 0.77% of the population is above the age of 70. Limited availability of skilled manpower. Voice-based call centers look for people with good English speaking capability. Meghalaya or the other northeastern states still don't have many engineering colleges to support the demand created by IT industry. Apart from people living in Shillong, the other people in the remaining part of the state are not as proficient in speaking English as the people in Shillong. Lack of political vision. Due to various local issues, the political leadership has not been able to focus attention as attracting investments in IT, ITES sectors. However, in the recent past, the realization that these sectors have potential to generate substantial economic well-being and employment opportunity has crept in, and the political leadership is now keen on attracting IT investments. High growth of urban population. Meghalaya has a high rate of growth of urban population. People are moving from the rest of the state to the urban centers for better livelihood. This will put pressure on the existing infrastructure of the urban areas. The government has to plan to meet the increasing expectations of these people, as well as work towards reducing the migration of people from rural areas to urban areas. Opportunities. Ample funding agencies. There are ample funding agencies like Donor, NetFi, and NEC in Meghalaya who have financed IT initiatives in the Northeast in the past. So, getting funds for setting up
Good
IT
morning to
or
everyone.
ITES
This is
companies in
CAD.
Meghalaya would not be difficult. The Government of India Look East policy and proximity to Southeast Asian market. The Government of India's Look East policy has helped in building cordial relationship with countries of Southeast Asia. This policy can also be looked at from a different angle, reaching Southeast Asia via Northeast India. There is extensive government willingness to further develop the Northeastern India region and integrate it into the Southeast Asian hemisphere. Meghalaya, being nearer to these countries, is in a better position to gain from their trade and cooperation. The state can attract investors from the Southeast Asian countries. Non-resident Meghalayans willing to invest in the state. People from Meghalaya who have left the state are willing to come back and invest in the state. NRIs are also willing to invest in Meghalaya. Ample scope for tourism sector. Over the past 8 years, there has been 73% increase in Indian tourists and 45.3% increase in foreigners visiting Meghalaya, though the number of tourist places has not shown any remarkable increase. This shows that Meghalaya has tremendous tourism potential. Threats. Brain drain. Due to lack of job opportunity in private or public sectors in the state, the youth of the state go out of Meghalaya for their livelihood. With more and more demand being created in other cities of India, more and more educated youths are leaving Meghalaya. Future trends in IT, ITES industries. Technological enhancements in the field of computer telephony will result in addition of many call center operational activities. Automated call distribution technology, which underpins all calls operation, may soon be upgraded so that It is also possible, using faster data telecommunication channels, to operate a call center service using workers based at workstations in their own homes. Competition from other Tier 3 cities. When ITES companies start looking beyond Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities, they will have the luxury of choosing from more than 10 cities which have better physical and communication infrastructure than Shillong. IT ITES sector may experience saturation. The sector has been showing high rate of growth in the recent past, but as the market matures, the rate of growth might slow down and reach a plateau. If this happens, the Meghalaya will find it difficult to attract outside investment as well as promote the local IT investors. While it is absolutely essential to understand the weakness and threats, it is the aggregate of strengths and opportunities that infuses the state and its people with the sense of optimism for the future.
Yes, sir. Sir, I just like to. I just wanted to address the fact that this presentation was actually supposed to be presented on a computer, but there were some technical issues, which is why I had to do it through my phone. So in case it was not clear or there were some problems here and there, I sincerely want to apologize for that. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, sir, from Nagaland.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Magma Cognac, start your presentation.
Yes, sir. Am I audible? Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Okay, can you see the presentation?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'll be starting the presentation on the history, geography, economic, good practices, and SWOT analysis of Nagaland. So, starting with the history of Nagaland, Nagaland has no early written history or older medieval chronicles of the neighboring Ahom kingdom of Assam tell of the Naga tribes, their economy, their customs, etc. In the 1816 invasion of Assam by the Burmans from Myanmar, it led to the oppressive Burman rule from 1819 until the establishment of British rule over Assam in 1826. The advent of British administration, which was on 1892, encompassed the whole of Naga territory, and it ended the practices of headhunting and inter-village raids and brought relative peace to the region. After India became independent in 1947, the Naga territory initially remained a part of the Assam. However, a strong nationalist movement began seeking in political union of the Naga tribes, and extremists demanded outright succession for the Indian Union. This movement led to the number of violent incidents, and in 1955, the Indian Army was called in to restore order and peace. In the 1957, after an agreement was reached between the Naga leaders and the Indian government, the Naga Hill regions of Assam and Tuensang Frontier Division to the North Coast were brought together under a single unit directly administered by the Indian government. Despite the agreement, the unrest continued in the form of non-cooperation with the Indian government, non-payment of taxes, sabotage, and attacks on the army. A further accord reached the Naga People Convention meeting on July 1960, which resolved that Naga should become a continent state of the Indian Union. Naga then achieved statehood in 1963, and its democratically elected government took office in 1964. Nagaland is the 16th state of the Union of India. It was inaugurated on December 1st, 1963. It is the main source of livelihood for Naga is agriculture, and about 82% of the population lives in rural and village areas. Nagaland is the land of diversity, and it consists of 12 districts under the state. Dimapur being the largest, and Koima being considered as the capital of Nagaland. The original word Naga was derived from the Burmese word Naga, which means people with earrings. Being such a diverse land, Nagaland has a total of 16 recognized tribes, namely Angkami, Ao, Chang, Dimasa Kachari, Kemyuan, Konyak, Kuki, Lota, Pom, Pochuri, Rengma, Sangtam, Sumi, Yumchungar, and Zilian. This is the map of Nagaland. And here you can see the 12 districts under Nagaland. Moving on to the geography of Nagaland. Nagaland is located in the northeastern region of India with an estimated population of over 2 million and covering an area of 16,579 square kilometers. The climate of Nagaland ranges from subtropical to subtemperate, and the altitude varies from 200 meters to 3,800 meters above sea level. And the terrain is mountainous and covered mostly by forests, which are among the richest in the Indian subcontinent. So Nagaland is broadly recognized as an area of mega biodiversity. Now, temperature remains between 16 to 31 degrees Celsius in the winter and 21 to 14 degrees Celsius in summer. Moving on to the economy of Nagaland. Nagaland is a state that is predominantly based on an agrarian economy. Over 71% of the population is dependent on agriculture. Traditional agriculture has a rich and diverse history. Traditional farmers have adopted and adapted, looking at what nature gives them and devising ingenious systems that follow ecological principles while meeting basic needs for food, fuel, and housing machine. The practice of slash and burn agriculture in Nagaland is locally known as chum cultivation, a word derived from the Assamese language meaning collective work. In Nagaland, close to 17,000 square kilometers of the state is subject to chum, with up to 1,000 square kilometers being chummed in 1 year. For the past few years, chumming has met the household needs of most Nagas while preserving the mountain ecosystem when it is practiced. Some crops produced in Nagaland are corn, pulses, oilseeds, fibers, sugarcane, potato, millets, and rice, etc. Another major segment of the state that contributed towards the growth of the economy of Nagaland is the water supply industry. Some other examples of livestock that plays a key economic factor are animal husbandry, cattle farming, piggery and poultry farming, etc., which always helps in maintaining the economy of the state. Next, we'll be looking into the good practices in Nagaland, which is the plantation activities, near real-time online GIS-based monitoring, economic earth and kitchen. For in plantation activities, They mainly focus on maintaining the sync with the current cultivation system using vigorous disease-free saplings that are usually available from well-mannered nurseries, always getting succeeded in producing well-developed economy. In Nagaland, the usage of quality saplings is very important because of the deforestation problems with short fallow cycles in the widely practiced shroom-based agriculture. Near real-time online GIS-based monitoring. In the real-time online GIS-based monitoring is readily used to serve information to all the stakeholders in an easy and visualized and a precise, proper manner. Coming on to the next topic, that is the SWOT analysis of Nagaland, meaning the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. We will first look into the strength of Nagaland. Nagaland's strength is in its abundant fertile land, which are organic by default, the rich biodiversity in the state, the strong village institution, and a widespread usage of English, which plays a major role in helping the younger generation to grasp a better knowledge. Weaknesses of Nagaland: political uncertainty, subsistence agriculture, poor state of finance, and inadequate taxation. The weaknesses of Nagaland: 1. Political uncertainty. When clouds of uncertainty hangs in Nagaland over the political situation with diverse speculation and diverse people choosing a leader, forming a body, etc., is the root cause of all problems. Subsistence agriculture also plays some part in weakening the state's land under subsistence cropland gradually decreased with a consequent increase in land, which plays a major hindrance in the smooth sailing of the cultivation system. Other weaknesses such as poor finances and inadequate taxation, poor roads, telecom and power infrastructure, and weak market linkage for agro products, and large number of uneducated, unemployed youths. Next, we'll be looking onto the opportunities. While Nagaland may seem remote to the rest of India, its proximity to the Southeast Asian countries could be an advantage. Expansion of trade between them was a recruit theme on deliberation. The state also offers scope for cultivating medicinal aromatic plants and floriculture. Beside animal husbandry and fisheries, the state itself offers immense potential for host of industries. It also encourages weaving and dyeing, since it's all a part of cottage industry. As for mineral-based industries, Eastern Nagaland is a major prospect for setting up of minerals resources-based industries. Agro-based industries are also expected to have a rather large scope. Handicrafts and handloom have a very vast potential for growth because this sector in Nagaland have unending availability of abundant skilled labor as well as raw materials. Coming on to the last point, that is threats: economic conditions, social conditions, religious conditions, unemployment, poverty, and tribalism are some of the few to name. Economic condition. One of the major problems for the economic condition is the increase in the number of graduates, which have only aided to the burden of the government to create more job opportunities for the people of Nagaland. Social condition. Emergence of class system with materials as the epicenter of occurring changes, which plays a major role in widening the gap and deepening the social damage. Religious condition. Conflicts between tribes, their opinions, etc., may in turn lead to social and religious conflicts happening overall of the population. Unemployment, poverty, tribalism, etc., are some of the few lists of threats. Thank you, everyone. This will be all for the history, geography, economic good practices, and SWOT analysis of Nagaland. I hope you all learned something new about Nagaland. Jai Hind.
Yes, sir. We'll present now.
Yes, sir. I will present, sir. Yes, sir.
Jayan, sir. Slideshow, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it okay, sir? Sir?
Sir, you don't want us to talk on this, sir? Yes, sir. Today we are going to present about Andaman and Nicobar Island. Let's get to the history of the island.
The content includes the history, geography, economy, SWOT analysis, and good practices of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Now, the history of the Andaman, we can see the history of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The first time existence of people are still a mystery in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, but according to the archaeologists, the existence of people are dated back to 2,200 years. The Andamanese people, the indigenous Andamanese people, were isolated from other populations since 30,000 years ago. Under the rule of Srivijaya Empire, around 11th century, like 1001 to 1100 AD, which belongs to Malay ethnic group, was ruling Andaman and Nicobar at that time. After that, the Chola dynasty, the Chola Empire invaded Andaman and Nicobar Highlands during 1014 to 1042 AD, which belongs to South Indian Chola Empire. They also used Andaman Nicobar Island as their strategic naval basis. Maratha Empire Navy, under the leadership of Sarkhel Kanhoji Angre, had temporary naval base of these islands. Then on 12th December 1755, Danish East India Company arrived at Nicobar Islands, and in 1796, Danish colony was established in Andaman and Nicobar Islands.
Sorry
Then,
to interrupt. Change the slide. Sure.
it is on the history slide, sir.
So
But
I'll
it is showing
present,
in the
sir.
first slide itself.
I'll present, sir. Yes, now it's.
Is it visible now, sir?
Yes.
Sir, actually, it is in slideshow, sir.
I'll present Shivashri.
Yes, Kushi.
Sir?
Yes, sir. The British East India Company have arrived in the Andaman Nicobar Islands in 1789, and it only existed till 1796. This also did not survive because of the outbreak of malaria. But British East India Company used these islands as cellular jails, which is known as Kalapani, where people where they are against British East India Company, they will be sent to the cellular jail in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Then the Japanese forces occupied these islands from 1942 to 1945. During this time, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose aligned with the Indian National Army. Aligned Indian National Army with the Japanese forces. For the first time, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose have created the flag of free India in Andaman and Nicobar Islands on December 1943. Then Andaman and Nicobar, after independence, the islands became part of India, and it became the Union Territory of the Republic of India in 1956.
Now we'll see about the geography of Andaman and Nicobar Island. Andaman and Nicobar Island were formed due to collision between the Indian plate and the Burma Minor Plate, that is Eurasian plate. Scientists have studied the rocks of the land. It is believed the existence of the island dates back to Cretaceous age, that is million years ago. The highest point of Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Saddle Peak raise about 731 meters, which is located in North Andaman. It is surrounded by Saddle Peak National Park. Highest point in the Nicobar Island is Mount Tullier, which measures about 642 meters. Andaman and Nicobar Island comprises of 572 islands, and 37 are inhabited by human beings. Andaman consists of 325 islands and Nicobar consists of 247 islands. It is located between the Bay of Bengal and in between the Andaman Sea. In total, there are 3 districts: North and Middle Andaman, South Andaman, and Nicobar Andaman. North and Middle together create a district, and South is a separate district. Capital of the North Andaman and the South Andaman is Port Blair. The Andaman and the Nicobar Islands are separated by 10-degree channel, which is 150 km wide. Total land area is 467 kilometers in length and 52 kilometers in width. Barren Island is the only confirmed volcano of India. It is inhabited volcano erupted, and it erupted for 10 times, and the most dangerous one was in 2017. West of South Andaman lies the North Central Island. It is occupied by the centralized tribe. In 1956, the government of India declared non-central island of tribal reserve. They were isolated just because to stay away from outside world. The Great Nicobar Reserve lies in Nicobar Island. Indira Point is the last village in the Nicobar district. It is also the southernmost point of Republic of India. The Kolkata High Court exercises jurisdiction of over Andaman and Nicobar Island. Next, economy.
Next to geography, we have economy. The status of Union Territory of economy is still at its beginning stage of full growth and development. The economy of Andaman Nicobar Island revolves around agriculture, small-scale industries, tourism, and fishing. We'll go through each one of them. The first of one is agriculture. When it comes to field crop, currently small quantity of paddy, sugarcane, banana, sweet potato, pulses, and vegetables like tomato, potato, cabbage, onion, cauliflower, beans, etc. are brought from mainland. Thebelians and Punjabis are main traders in Andaman Island. Paddy is considered to be the main crop of Andaman Island. Cash crops like coconut is also grown there. Different fruits like mango, sapota, banana, and papaya is grown. Spices such as pepper, clove, nutmeg, are also grown under multi-time cropping system. Rubbers, whereas rubber, red oil, palm, cashew are grown on the limited scale. The second one is tourism. Andaman and Nicobar Island is a major tourism hub with exotic looking beaches and pristine island having equally exotic names. Wonderful opportunities for adventure spots like snorkeling, scuba diving, even hike up to the nearby mountains are available. Foreigners cannot directly fly to Andaman Nicobar Island as the government has made the port bay as an authorized, which has immigration checkposts from entry as well as exits from India. At the center of the town of Aberdeen Bazaar, which is constructed entirely of wood, the major attraction of Andaman Nicobar Island is the cellular jail, which today is memorial to freedom fighters. There is an anthropological museum, naval museum, forest museum, which tells us more about indigenous tribes, their way of living, and rich meaning of Andaman and Sea. The easiest accessible island from this Port Bay city is Nail and Havelock Island. Small boats are available to visit these places. Nail Island is known for scuba diving, snorkeling, and sea walking. One can be spotted by school of dolphins, a spot to giant sea tortoise and flying fishes. Havelock Island is known for Swaraj Island, which is chosen by government to designate to the luxurious island. Only not most part of this island is populated. Inflow of tourists is triple in the last few years. The third one is fishing. There is no traditional fishing in Andaman Nicobar Island. Fishermen from Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal have settled in Andaman and Nicobar Island about 5 decades ago or engaged in fishing. Marine fish production of island is much less than the resource available, and this is mainly due to the non-availability of infrastructures, suitable ports, and skilled manpower. The development of fishery has been implementing various programs, schemes to increase fish production. The Union Territory also engages in aquaculture, which means breeding, rearing, harvesting of fishes and other organisms in water. Aquaculture is done in freshwater, whereas we have 2,605 freshwater ponds, which is constructed under minor irrigation scheme of Department of Agriculture by availing subsidy. And the fourth one is industry. Majority of industrial units are wood and its byproduct. These are small-scale and anti-craft units, whereas other industries are based on agro, food, marine, mineral, chemical engineering, leather, textile, etc. Andaman traders purchase things from Indian mainland, whereas, however, the inter-island traders purchase goods from Port Bay trader.
Next, we'll go on to the SWOT analysis of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. SWOT tells about the strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Regarding the major strengths of Andaman and Nicobar Islands are social factors, which are unique multicultural and multilinguistic society living with cohesive racial religious harmony and progressive social indicators. And Andaman and Nicobar Islands are free of social and environmental pollution. Natural resources endowment in sectors like marine and forests.
Next to strength, we have weaknesses. Location and communication or by logistic constraints. There is only less working season due to the climatic condition. Only 6.3% of limited land availability is there. Infrastructure deflect like physical, human, and social. Other than this, we have short development or product cycles, increased competitive pressure, lack of standardization or a competition between countries, fragment researches in national EU markets.
No, sir. Yes, sir. We'll continue, sir. The opportunities of Andaman and Nicobar Islands available are natural resources. Their immense tourism potential and scope for fishery industries are high. Absence of social and environmental pollution also gives them opportunities. In their information technology and agriculture also gives them better opportunities. Agriculture depends on organic farming, spices and herbs, food processing. Now
let's see threats. Threats include security and disaster-related threats, loss of tourists to other low-cost destinations, hindrance in development due to environmental regulations, low private investment. Now let's see the good practices. Ensuring rapid, sustainable, and inclusive growth in a fragile ecosystem, providing employment and enhancing skill development, ensuring inter-island and mainland connectivity, ensuring strategic security, maintaining social harmony and multicultural identity, protection of particularly vulnerable tribal groups and other vulnerable people. They started environment management project in low-cost budget. Eco parks are available. Plastic bags are banned there. Instead, only cloth bags are used in regard to global warming. Speed parameters are checked strictly. Both people traveling in a two-wheeler must wear helmets to avoid accidents and other injuries. Ecotourism is maintained and also separate litter drums are maintained to segregate and throw the deck and non-biodegradable waste to maintain clear environment. Thank you. Jai Hind.
thank you for this opportunity. We learned and explained about the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Hind, sir. Am I audible, sir? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, is the screen visible, sir? A very fine good afternoon to everyone. This is Cadet A. Nishantini. My regimental number is TN19 SWA 775905 and I am from 9 Tamil Nadu Battalion NCC Karaikudi and I am studying in Alappa Chettiar Government College of Engineering and Technology Karaikudi. Today, I am going to talk about culture and heritage of Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry and Andaman and Nicobar. As everyone knows, culture and heritage is an expression of the ways of living developed by our community. Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is a southern state of India which is supremely rich in culture and heritage. Known to be one of the oldest civilizations in the world, the people of Tamil Nadu belong to the prestigious Dravidian family. Tamilians also, like the other South Indians, take much pride in their rooted Tamil culture and make great effort to protect their 2000 years old history. The state has been ruled by the Cholas, Pandyas and the Pallavas and has been flourishing since. The art and architecture have been their creations which are used and maintained even today. Language. Tamil is the official language of Tamil Nadu state and one of the 18 languages mentioned in the 8th schedule of Indian Constitution. Tamil is one of the classical languages of the world with a rich heritage of literatures. It is the most widely spoken language in Tamil Nadu. Besides Tamil Nadu, Tamil is also spoken by a number of people in Sri Lanka, Singapore, and Malaysia. The antiquity of Tamil is comparable to Sanskrit. Tamil is written in a derivative of the Southern Brahmi script. The alphabet of Tamil is unique. Religions. The history and culture of Tamil Nadu goes back to the thousands years back. For centuries, people of various religions have been residing in the state. The main religions in the Tamil Nadu are Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, and Jainism. Hinduism, along with its various sects, is the oldest religion in the state. Hindus are followers of number of sectarian monastic institutions called like all the South Indian, Tamil Nadu is also for vegetarians, non-vegetarians. That grains, lentils, rice, and vegetable are the main ingredients of the traditional food of Tamil Nadu. Spices and common popular dishes of the region are idli, and the culture of Tamil Nadu with its the tribal dances of Tamil Nadu include dances from the simplest form of a puppet show to the Poikal Kuduraiattam. They dressed like a peacock for Mailattam as the horse, while performing Poikal Kudurai as a bull in Kalayattam, snake-like dresses of Pampu Attam, and as a bear in Karadiattam. A celebratory man, whether it is sir. Oh, okay. Whether it is a religious festival or a cultural one, people get together, visit each other's home, draw rangolis, and wear new clothes. Of course, there is a delicious and lip-smacking food that is prepared and eaten at this time. Kartigai Deepam, Pongal, Deepali, Shivaratri, Thaipusam, Sitrai festivals, Christmas, etc. Speciality of Tamil Nadu. Kanchipuram silk sarees is the type of silk saree made in the Kanchipuram region in Tamil Nadu, India. These sarees are worn as bridal and special occasion sarees by most women in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. It has been recognized as a geographical indication by the Government of India in 2005 to 2006. The sarees are woven from pure mulberry silk thread. The pure mulberry silk and the sarees used in the making of Kanchipuram sarees comes from the South Indian. To weave a Kanchipuram saree, 3 shuttles are used. While the wearer works on the right side, his 8 work on the left side shuttle. The border color and the designs are usually quite different from the body. If the pallu, the hanged end of the sarees, has been woven in a different shades, it is first separately woven and delicately joined to the saree. The part where the body meets the pallu is often denoted by a zigzag line. In a genuine Kanchipuram silk saree, body and borders are woven separately and interlocked together. The another speciality of Tamil Nadu is Kallanai, also known as the Grand Anicut, is an Asian dam. It is built in across the Kaveri River flowing from Tiruchirappalli district to Tanjavur district. The dam located in Tanjavur district, located at a distance of 45 km from Tanjavur, 15 km from Tiruchirappalli. The dam was originally constructed during the reign of Chola king Karaikalan in 100 BC to 100 AD. It is the 4th oldest water diversion or water regulator structure in the world and the oldest in India, which is still in use. Because of its spectacular architecture, it is one of the prime tourist spots in Tamil Nadu. The dam has been built with uneven stones and is 329 meter long and 20 meter wide. It was constructed with the ideas to divert water across the Delta region for irrigation. Pondicherry. Pondicherry, officially known as Puducherry, is the capital and the most populous city of the Union Territory of Puducherry in India. The city is in the Puducherry district on the southeast of India and it is surrounded by the state of Tamil Nadu, with which it shares most of its culture and language. Pondicherry municipality consists of 42 wards. Wards 1 to 10 are the north of the city, Ward 11 to 19 are the Boulevard town, and remaining wards are southeast of the city center. The topography of Pondicherry is same as the coastal Tamil Nadu. Pondicherry's average elevation is at sea level and the number of sea inlets refers to a backwater can be found. The Union Territory of Pondicherry comprises two districts, Puducherry and Karaikal. Puducherry district comprises Puducherry region and two outlying administrative units of Mahi and Yanam. All four districts bear a strong resemblance to the colonial French rule of the ancient time. In 1674, the French East Indian Company set up a trade center at Pondicherry and this eventually became the chief French settlement in India. Architecture. The coastal town of Pondicherry, India, among the other things, is also famous for the colonial French and the Franco-Tamil architecture of some its buildings. White Town is located east of the canals between Gingi Sale, Green Line in the map, and the bay. It is located in the bottom portion of the map. The portion on the other side of the canal is the Tamil quarters, which encompasses the popular and busy Mission Street Pink Line, and the houses in the quarters are symbolic of the Franco-Tamil and traditional Tamil architecture respectively. This quarter has a grid layout which absolutely perpendicular road, which have now become a somewhat of a problem because of increased traffic due to the tourist influx. Access to the Parmator besides the seas is also through the part of the town, thereby increasing traffic density. Cuisine. The cuisine of Pondicherry consists of mixture of Tamil and French influence given the history of the area as a former French outpost until the late 20th century. Common foods include baguettes and croissants with coffee for breakfast, which all shows their French heritage or South India meals such as masala dosa, sambar or idli. Food in Pondicherry is strongly influenced by the French salad, liqueurs, crepes, both sweets and savories, and cream brulee and are among popular French dishes still prepared in Pondicherry. Multiple French restaurants are located in the area, including bakeries, cafes, seafoods restaurants, and traditional French restaurants. There was also much cross-pollination between Pondicherry and South India and Vietnam. Both were under French control as people traveled between these two locations for business, for administration, and as part of the armed forces. Tamil was refined by French influence using much less space. In the sense, food is Pondicherry is cooked in very less oil and are easy to digest. Clothing. The dress of Puducherry is much similar to Tamil Nadu dress or a mixture of Tamil and French culture at least. Because of the amalgamated French and Tamil culture, both traditional Western attributes are worn in Puducherry. Women of Puducherry wear saris with a blouse and long skirts. They do not wear beach wears in the city as much dresses will invite unwanted attention. But being the most liberal places, so people wear modern Western clothing. The traditional attributes for men in Puducherry is dhoti and kurta shirt, but nowadays they can be seen in pants and shirt. Both men and women wear cotton cloths because of the climate of the area. In clothing, the remaining visible French influences are the red kepis and the belts worn by the local police. Dancing. Garadi, a well-known dance in Puducherry, is performed at festival. Its origin is a product of mythology when Rama, hero of epic Ramayanam, depicted Ravana, the Varnas, monkeys danced to celebrate his victory. Garadi is usually performed for 5 to 8 hours. Dancers wear Varna mask, carry sticks, and wear 10 chimming Anjali, iron rodding, as they dance, accomplished by singing and 2 large Ramodola drums. The only attractive item of the dance is the ornaments named Anjali. Wear in this dance, performed wears 10 Anjalis in each legs. During dance, the sound of Anjalis and drum beats make attractive sound and rhythmical beat. It is believed that the Varna celebrated victory of Lord Rama over Ravana and commemorate that event. This dance is performed. Garadi is believed to have a purely mythological origin. Folklore says that when Lord Rama defeated Ravanan, then the Varnas performed his dance to celebrate his victory. Music. Roll back to years and can you almost visualize chivalrous young men, possibly with pompadours, harido, and elegant women slips out of their homes in the French quarters and head to the ballroom of Cercle de Pondicherry to party away the night to music and dance. The city, which has embraced diverse genres such as rock, fusion, jazz, or hip hop, owes its musical multiculturalism in large part to good vibration coming off. The ashram and Arovali that attracted curious minds from all corners of the world. Most musical events those days were all-nighters gigs started around 9:30 p.m. and went on till 5:30 a.m. and band put together playlists that had close to 100 songs, mainly country, rocks, R&B and pops number. Festival. Thai Pongal. Thai Pongal, popularly referred as a Pongal Pandigai among the Tamils, is one among the most important festivals of the Union Territory of Puducherry. Thai Pongal is one of the longest festival observed as the festival lasts for 4 long days, usually between Jan 13 to Jan 16. The first day of the festival is referred as a Bogi Pandigai, which is observed based on the singular concept of burning worthless and old items, welcoming new things, and looking for a fresh start. The concept of Bogi Pandigai could be well explained using the famous Tamil phrase, Palayana Kalithum, Pudiyana Pudithum. Masquerade Festival, Mask Festival. Yet another singular festival observed in the Puducherry is the Mask Festival, also known as a Masquerade Festival. It is celebrated during March-April month of the year. This festival reflects the French traditional followed by the people of Puducherry. This fete is glorified with people wearing masks, fancy costumes, merrymakers, which feels like a Halloween of Puducherry. Wearing all the masks, people go for a round in the neighborhood, enjoying merrily and dancing the music played. Bastille Day. On 14 July every year, Bastille Day, Puducherry witnessed an Indo-French spectacular ceremony. We can see uniformed war veterans marching in the street of Puducherry singing Marseillaise, getting a glimpse of French flag alongside Indian flag outside the houses of Pondicherrians is an unusual scene to look at. The speciality of Pondicherry is Chunnambar. It is situated 8 km from Pondicherry along the Kudalur main road. The traffic paradise is flanked by a quiet flowing creek on one side. You can sail downstream to sands and pitch up a cozy seaside tent for yourself. Overnighting within the tree house on the backwater, providing a revealing experience of the great outdoors. The beach of Chunnambar, also known as the Black Paradise or the Paradise Beach, is located near the mouth of the Blackwater. The sand is crystalline and the water is clean. It is an ideal place for sunbathing and beach sports. A short, pleasant cruise into the sea from here could reward you with a memorable sight of playful dolphins in a natural habitat horsing around. Chunnambar Beach and Blackwater Resort, a PTDC Enterprises, has boating, Blackwater boat tour, trekking, and picnics on paradise beaches for visitors and their friends and families. The resort offers various kinds of rental boats, speed motors, sail, road, paddled, and paddleite, in addition to beach volleyballs and other beach sports. The another speciality of Pondicherry is Austerity Lake, is a lake in the Union Territory of Puducherry, state of Tamil Nadu. This lake is also called as a Azudu Lake, as it is located in the village named Azudu. The lake extended to about 800 hectares, in which 390 hectares lies in Pondicherry and the rest of in Tamil Nadu. It is the largest lake of Pondicherry. Austerity Lake is a man-made lake which is considered as one of the important wetlands in Asia. Different species of migratory birds resides in the lake throughout the year, for which the lake gained significance from the IBA. Important bird areas. In 2008, Austerity's wetlands in Puducherry was declared as a bird sanctuary, while the wetland in Tamil Nadu was declared in 2015. The lake is one of the prominent tourist spots in Puducherry. The Puducherry Tourism Department Corporation has made a small boat club in the lake for tourists. The Puducherry government is proposing to make Austerity as a national park. It has also proposed to set up a telescope to watch the birds and make the region an eco-tourism destination. Next, we are going to see about the culture and heritage of Andaman and Nicobar. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are the hub of rich culture and heritage. The Chola dynasty has a prominent presence of 1014 to 1042 AD. The island was used as a naval base to launch expeditions against Sriva Jaya Empire. European colonization began when settlers from the Danish East Company arrived here on 12 December 1755. The islands were renamed as Shahid Deep and Swaraj Deep. After independence, it became a part of independent India in 1950. People. The people of this island are divided mainly into two categories: indigenous, tribal peoples, and outside settlers. Both classes have different traditional and cultures, which creates a beautiful combination. The indigenous and tribes are mainly hunters and horticulturists and do not have much contact with outsiders. The present culture is most influenced by the outside settlers who have a high standard of living. Language. The most spoken language in Andaman and Nicobar Island is Bengali. Hindi is the official language and spoken widely after Bengali. English is the second language for communication purpose. Other languages include Tamil, Telugu, Nicobarese, and Malayalam, which are spoken by very few peoples. Cuisine. The cuisine is heavily influenced by the presence of several cultures in the region. Due to the presence of diverse religions like Hindu, Christian, Muslim, and Sikh, traditional food is a reflection of their traditions. The cuisine consists of non-vegetarian spicy food. Fish and rice are the prominent part of the daily cuisine. Being a coastal area, seafood is also widely available. Vegetables are mostly imported from the other states. Occupation. The main occupation which forms a major part of the livelihood of the people of Andaman and Nicobar Island are agriculture, forestry, and fishing. Some peoples are also engaged in the carpentry related activities like furniture making, etc. Fishery is yet another major occupation. Most people have fisheries at their homes. They are mainly for local purposes as commercial fishing is banned. Music and dance. Music and dance is an important part of Andaman's culture. The Andamans here have their own folk music, which is reflections of rich heritage. The old traditional dance of the region is Nicobari. The Nicobari tribe performed this dance form during the Ausari feast. It is the way of showing respect to the departed souls. There are many other popular dance forms as well. Some of these folk dances performed during the Island Tourism Festival. Forest. The richest varieties of flora and fauna are present in the archipelago. There are 9 national parks and 96 marine and wildlife sanctuaries and 1 biosphere reserve in the region. There are around 2,200 recorded varieties of plants. Around 50 different species of mammals are found in the island. Rhododendrons are found in the huge number of 26 species. Bats are found in 14 species. There are around 270 species of birds, 225 species of butterflies and moths. Festivals. Fairs and festivals are the important part of culture. Hindu-Indian festivals like Kali Pujai, Durga Pujai, Diwali, Holi, Ayyappa Pujai, Ramanavami, Naga Panchami, Shivaratri, Basant Panchami are celebrated with high zeal and enthusiasm. The Muslim community celebrated Ramadan wholeheartedly. Annual Food Festival is an important feast that exhibits the acoustic diverse cuisines of archipelago. Film festivals are also organized manually to promote the art of film making among youngsters. Speciality. The Sentinelese is also known as a Sentinel, and the other Sentinel Islanders are the indigenous peoples who inhabit North Sentinel Islands in the Bay of Bengal in India. Designated a particularly vulnerable tribal group and the scheduled tribes. They belong to the bordered classes of Andamanese peoples. Among with the Great Andamanese, the Jarawas and the Ong, the Shompen and the Nicobarese, the Sentinelese are one of the 6 native and often reclusive people of the Andaman and Nicobar Island. Unlike the other, the Sentinelese appear to have a consistently refuses any interaction with the outside world. They are hostile to outsiders and have killed people who approached or landed on the island. In 1956, the government of India declared North Sentinel Island a tribal resource and are prohibited travel within 3 nautical miles, 5.6 kilometers of it. It further maintained a constant armed patrol to prevent institutions by outsiders. Photography is prohibited. There is a significant uncertainty as the group size, with estimate ranging between 15 and 500 individuals, but mostly between 50 and 200. The another speciality of Andaman and Nicobar is the cellular jail, also known as a Kalapani, was a colonial prison in the Andaman and Nicobar Island, India. The prison was used by the British for the express purpose of exiling political prisoners to the remote archipelago. Many notably independence activities including Yogendra Shukla, V.O. Chidambaram. The construction of the prison started in 1896 and was completed in 1909. The building was a fuse-colored brick building. The brick used to build the building were bought from Burma. The building had 7 wings at the center, of which the tower served as the intersection and was used by the guards. This format was based on the Jeremy Bentham ideas of panopticon. The wing radiated from the tower in the straight lines, much like the spokes of a bicycle wheels. Pillai and Vinayaka, the 2 spokes, radiated from the tower in the straight lines, much like the spokes of a bicycle wheels. The wing radiated from the tower in the straight lines, much like the spokes of a bicycle wheels. The wing radiated from the tower in the straight lines, much like the spokes of a bicycle wheels. The wing radiated from the tower in the straight lines, much like the spokes of a bicycle wheels. The wing radiated from the tower in the straight lines, much like the spokes of a bicycle wheels. The wing radiated from the tower in the straight lines, much like the spokes of a bicycle wheels. The wing radiated from the tower in the straight lines, much like the spokes of a bicycle wheels. The wing radiated from the tower in the straight lines, much like the spokes of a bicycle wheels. The wing radiated from the tower in the straight lines, much like the spokes of a bicycle wheels. The wing radiated from the tower in the straight lines, much like the spokes of a bicy represented her during the struggle of Indian independence. Today, the complex serves as a national memorial monument. Thank you. Jai Hind. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. She is ready. Good afternoon, all. I am very happy to introduce myself in the online EBSB of Phase 8. I am Lieutenant Dr. S.V. Karthikeyan, ANO from Madurai Group of Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, Andaman and Nicobar Directorate. Now, Cadet C. Hamsavardhini is going to present the given topic. Hamsavardhini, you can proceed now.
Yes, sir. Is my screen visible, sir? Okay, sir. A warm good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Lance Corporal Hamsavardhini from Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Andaman and Nicobar. I'm going to give you a presentation about origin, script and dialect of Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Andaman and Nicobar. Origin of states. The region of Tamil Nadu or Tamilagam in the southeast of modern India shows evidence of having continuous human habitation from 15,000 BCE to 10,000 BCE. Throughout its history, spanning the early Upper Paleolithic age to modern times, this region has coexisted with various external cultures. The three ancient Tamil dynasties, namely Chera, Chola, and Pandya, were of ancient origins. Together, they ruled over this land with a unique culture and language, contributing to the growth of some of the oldest extant literature in the world. I'm going to present a small video explaining about the origin of Tamil Nadu.
The history of Tamil Nadu is very old and goes to thousands of years back. It is believed that the Dravidians of Tamil country were once a part of the early Indus Valley settlers and moved south after the advent of Aryans around 1500 BC. However, the recorded history of human civilization in Tamil Nadu goes back only to the 4th century BC. The Sangam literature has several references to the social, economic, and cultural life of people in this part. The close proximity to the sea put the Tamil country on the maritime map of the world even before the dawn of Christian era. Over a period of time, the Tamils developed trade links with ancient Greece, Egypt, and Rome. Due to its geographical and strategic location, Tamil Nadu remained a bone of contention for political supremacy among different empires. Prior to the Christian era, the Soras, Seras, and Pandyas ruled the Tamil country. The domains of these three dynasties changed many times over the centuries. The most remarkable aspect of these rulers was a patronage to literature, architecture, art, and crafts. Most of these rulers gave their steady patronage to various arts that expedited the expansion of Dravidian culture. The rich tradition of literature, music, and dance, which were supported by Tamil rulers, continue to flourish to this day. The Sora Empire extended to the central Indian states like Orissa and parts of West Bengal. Rajendra Chola went beyond, occupying the islands of Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep, Java, Sumatra, Malaya, and the islands of Pegu with his fleet of ships. The invasion destroyed the Chola and Pandya dynasties and later led to the establishment of Bahmani kingdom in the northern Deccan. Tamil Nadu was also a witness to the struggle between colonial powers in which the British came out victorious. The British fought with many European powers, driving the Dutch away and reducing the French to Pondicherry. The British consolidated South India into the Madras Presidency. The nationalist movement in Tamil Nadu started in the 18th century. The anti-colonial feeling in Tamil Nadu started as early as 1806 at Vellore. After independence, in 1947, the Madras Presidency became Madras State, comprising of present-day Tamil Nadu, coastal Andhra Pradesh, northern Kerala, and the southwest coast of Karnataka. The state was later divided on linguistic lines. In 1968, the state of Madras was renamed Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is also one of the states that gives due importance to its language, that is Tamil, and to its culture till this present day. It is expressed in the celebration of Pongal.
Script in Tamil language. All languages that have been around for more than 1,000 years do not have a very clear history beyond this point. Tamil was born from the Proto-Dravidian language that is thought to have been existed before 500 BC. Tamil Nadu is the official language of the Indian state of Tamil Nadu and an official language of two countries, Singapore and Sri Lanka. It is also the official language of Union Territory of Puducherry. Tamil is spoken in various parts of the world, including Malaysia, South Africa, United Kingdom, United States, Canada, and many more. In Constitution of India, Tamil is classified as one of the oldest languages in the world. The Tamil alphabet has a total number of 247 letters. Actually, Tamil letters are syllabic, not in alphabetic. The Tamil letters are a combination of 216 consonant letters, 12 vowels, plus 18 consonants, and one special character. Then the grand total is 247. As I already said, Tamil language is natively spoken by Tamil Nadu, and it is also the official language of Tamil Nadu, Singapore, and Sri Lanka. Tamil letters are also separated into three parts: Vallinam, Mellinam, and Denam, each consisting of 6 letters. Tamil dialects. Tamil dialects are primarily differentiated from each other by the fact that they have undergone different phonological changes and sound shifts in evolving of Old Tamil. For example, the word for here is Ingu in Tamil, that is the classic variety. It is involved into Inga, the dialect of Sanjavur, and Ingai in some dialects of Sri Lanka, Ingain in the dialect of Tirunelveli, and Ingut in the dialect of Madurai. Now, let us look at a short video which has some movie clips which explains the different dialects of Tamil.
ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ, ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗಂಡದರನ್ನು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಾನು ಕೆಟ್ಟವನೇ, ఎందుకు వాగడు? వాగటానికి వాగడమే జవాబు. నేను అబద్ధం చెప్పేవాడిని, కానీ నిజం చెప్తే మాత్రం ఏమవుతుందో ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ പറയുള്ളൂ. ഇല്ലാതെ പിന്നെ ഞാൻ നിങ്ങളുടെ ഭർത്താവിനെ പറ്റി പരാതി പറഞ്ഞില്ലല്ലോ, എന്റെ ഭാര്യയെ പറ്റിയാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്. தமிழ் பேச சொல்லுங்கடா. யாரது ஆத்தல? யாராவது இருக்காளா இல்ல இல்லையா?
யாரது? ஓ நீங்களா? வந்துட்டு.
நீ வரண்டா, நான் வந்து பார்க்க வரல ஏட்டையா. இல்லை நான் வரல, என் பையன் கூட
அது இருக்கட்டும், பரவாயில்ல வாங்கோ. புதுசா காப்பி பொடி வாங்கியிருக்கேன், காப்பி போட்டு தரட்டுமா?
புது காப்பி பொடியா? 4 கிலோவா? தெரியும், லிஸ்ட்ல இருக்கு. அங்க வஸ்திரத்துல ஜரிகை மாதிரி கடைசியா இருக்கு பாத்தியா? என்ன சிரிக்கிறாய்? அக்கமா இல்லையா நோக்க? எங்க ஆத்தா அக்கௌண்ட்ல உங்க பள்ளிக்கு சாமா வாங்குறா.
தப்புதான், ஆனா பாட்டி என்ன சொன்னா தெரியுமோ? கல்யாணத்துக்கு அப்புறம் எப்படி இருந்தாலும் உப்பு புளி அரிசி எல்லாம் நீங்க தான் வாங்கி போட போறேன், அதை இப்பவே வாங்கிண்டா என்ன தப்புன்னு கேட்டாள்.
யாருக்கு கல்யாணம்? நேக்கா நோக்கா? நோக்கு நோக்குமா? ஆராகும் சொன்னது?
பாட்டி.
சுங்கம் தவிர்த்த சோழனின் பேரனிடம் கர்வம் தவிர்க்க சொல். அப்படி சொன்னவன் இந்த ரங்கராஜ நம்பி என்று சொல். மன்னனை சூழவிருக்கும் பிற தோஷங்களுடன் பிரம்மஹத்தி தோஷமும் சூழும் என்று சொல். ஒரு கார் சேசிங்னா அந்த கதாநாயகனோட முகத்தை நிறைய க்ளோஸ்அப்ல காட்டினா தானே அப்படியே அந்த பதட்டம் பாக்குறவனுக்கு சொத்தம். இல்லாட்டி சினிமாவே ஒரு பாஷை, அதுக்கு இன்னொரு பாஷை என்னத்துக்குங்க? யாருமே எதையுமே சுயமா பேசுறதா தெரியலையே. என்ன பிசாசு பேச வைக்கிறதுங்கிற உங்களை எங்க மாமா கொடுக்க போற காசு பேச வைக்கிறதுங்கிறேன் நான். மொத்தத்துல இங்க இருக்கிறவாளும் முக்கியமா நீங்களும் எனக்கு புத்தி சுவாதீனம் இல்லைன்னு டைரக்டரா இந்த நக்கல் தானே வானான்றது. நான் ஸ்டண்ட் பார்ட்டி, மாடு பழகின மாடு, பாம்புக்கு பயம் இல்லைன்ற தோட்டு தான் என்ன நீ சிவனா போட்ட. சாமி வாய்ஸ் மாச்சேன்னு நான் 2 நாள் கவிச்சு கூட தின்னாது இருந்தேன். இதுக்கு மேல டைலாகும் பேச சொன்னா ஒண்டியால எவ்வளவு தாங்க கவனிக்கிறது? மாடு வேற இஷ்டன்னு போது, பாம்பு கழுத்துல ஊறுது, இந்த பிளாடர் வேற கரிச்சா அன்னைக்கு கங்கையில தண்ணி வர வைக்கணும். இது மேல பேச்சு வரணும்னா எப்படி? இதெல்லாம் நல்லா பேசு. எல்லாம் சிவமயம் என்று சொல்லிவிட, எனக்கு எல்லாம் பயமயம். சாரி. காலாவுன்னை காலால் உதப்பர் என்று காலமான பாரதி சொன்னவர். காலனை காலால் உதைச்சால் காலில் அடிபடும் என்ற பயம் எனக்கு, கவிதை பயம் எனக்கு, கதை பயம் எனக்கு, வீமன்ற கதைக்கும் பயம், அணுவென்ற கதைக்கும் பயம், உதைக்கும் பயம், சிதைக்கும் பயம், கதவு பயம் எனக்கு, கொஞ்சம் திறந்த கதவும் பயம், முழுசா மூடின கதவும் பயம், பூட்டுப்பட்ட கதை வேண்டாலும் பயம், பேர்ந்து திறக்க இல்லாமல் மாட்டுப்பட்ட கதை வேண்டால் திறந்தே சொல்லுறேன். மெத்த பயம் எனக்கு, காடு பயம் எனக்கு, நாடு பயம் எனக்கு, கூடு பயம் எனக்கு, குளம் பயம் எனக்கு, நண்டு கண்டால் பயம் எனக்கு, பூச்செண்டு கண்டாலும் பயம் எனக்கு, செண்டுக்குள்ளால இருக்கிற வண்டு கண்டாலும் பயம் எனக்கு, கடிக்கிற நாயும் பூனையும் பூனைதென்ற எலியும் பயம் எனக்கு, வெடிச்சு செதற செல்லும் செல்லுக்கா பதுங்கிற பங்கரும் பயம் எனக்கு, பங்கருக்குள்ள இருக்கிற பாம்பும் புரானும் கடிக்குமோ என்ற பயம் எனக்கு. நன்றி அம்மணி. முடி முடி. நான் ஒண்ணு சொன்னா கோவிக்கலன்னு சொல்றேன். இந்த பயம் அன்னைக்கு இருந்திருக்கோன மாஸ்படியில வச்சு 4 பேத்துக்கு முன்னாடி நாரா கிழிச்சு மாலையா போட்டுக்கிட்ட ஓடிட்டேன். கொண்டாட்டி என்ன சொன்னாலும் பேசாம வாய மூடிட்டு பின்னாடியே தெரியறதுக்கு அவன் என்ன சக்தி வேல் கவுண்டுனா கோடி கணக்கில் ஒட்டி கொடுத்தாலே என் நிலத்தை விற்க மாட்டேன். நான் உட்கார்ந்து இருக்காரு கோயம்புத்தூர் கொண்டராசு, அவர் கிணத்துல தான் தண்ணி வருது, அம்பிட்டு தண்ணி தான் எடுத்தா அவர் கிணத்துல வாங்கி குடிச்சுக்கிற வேண்டியதுதானே. அவர் விற்பாரு எதை வேணா. ஆமலை தம்பி, நான் உலக நாயகன் தான். நான் மட்டுமல்ல மக்களே, 4 கோடி விந்துல 1 மட்டும் பொழைச்சு உயிரா பிறந்து வாரவே அந்த ஒவ்வொரு உயிருமே உலக நாயகன் தான். ஆனா எல்லாருமே அப்படி வாழுகிறதில்லை. ஒன்ன மாதிரி தீட்டத்துல நெளிய புழுவா இருக்கிறதுல சில பேருக்கு சந்தோஷம். அதே மாதிரி சந்தோஷமா நீடூழி நெளிஞ்சு வாழுங்க. நான் போறேன். சந்தோஷம் புரியுது.
Now, I hope that you are all clear about origin, script, and dialect of Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, and Andaman and Nicobar. I would like to conclude by saying that I am very proud to be a Tamilian, as Tamil is spoken by around 70 million people, and it is the oldest living language in the planet. Thank you. Jai Hind. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Today it is the first day of the 6-day EBSB, the small camp. Whatever I have observed on day one, too many cadets are leaving the group. For everybody's information, the software which we have installed out here can maintain the attendance of all the cadets who are participating. Today, out of 45 odd cadets who left the group, 33 were from Northeast Directorate and 12 were from Tamil Nadu Directorate.
Sir, we couldn't hear you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So far so good. Few points which are observed. Too many living cadets are very very early. Today, almost 45 cadets are from the group, out of which 3 are from Office Directorate, 12 are from Tamil Nadu Directorate. The software which we have installed at this stage can monitor the attendance. I am afraid they are not regular.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everybody running the meet. If you have mobile in use,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, 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 sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Jai Hind, sir. Thank you, sir.
Jai Hind, sir.